experiences and some practical ideas that you can take away from this forum. Now, at the end of their sharing, there will be some time given for Q&A, so feel free to send in your questions into the Q&A box located at the bottom of your screen. As we kickstart this forum, here's a gentle reminder that no recording is permitted. And finally, for our Indonesian friends, there is simultaneous Bahasa interpretation available. Simply go to the globe icon located at the bottom of your screen and choose Bahasa language. You should be able to hear my friend Rudy, who is interpreting as I talk. Okay, so with all the webinar etiquette done, we are ready to kickstart Ample Forum. So without further ado, I would like to invite the founder of Gordon Hu Consultancy and the brainchild behind this forum up on screen. So let's put our virtual hands together to warmly welcome Mr. Gordon Hu.
Hi everyone, welcome to Ample 2023 Forum. Like what Eileen said, we are so thankful and happy that we can run this third Ample Forum. We started the first one 3 years ago. Our theme at that time was best practices, and last year we ran the second one. The theme was winning culture, and this year is about impossible leadership. For those who have attended all the 3 forums, we want to thank you for your support. And for some of you, if this is your first one, we trust that today will be one of the best afternoons you have spent about agents and to learn about agency building. Now, what is Ample Forum? You see, Ample Forum started during the lockdown. During the lockdown, a lot of training, a lot of seminars, a lot of Zoom meetings. It's all about sales, motivation, because we are in a very difficult times. But what about the manager? I'm always passionate and concerned about managers, about agency leaders. These, to me, are the most neglected group of people. So a thought came to me 3 years ago, say, hey, why not we create this community to bring managers, agency leaders, or those aspiring to be managers to come together and learn on topics about agency building, because this is really far and few. You don't really get this kind of forum or seminars or workshop. So that's how it was created, and we did one, and then now this is the third one. So today, for this third forum for 2023, our theme is impossible leadership. What do you mean by impossible leadership? To many people like myself, when I started back then as an agency leader, to me, it is just impossible for me to lead a team. Some things that I never imagined I could do, but today it becomes possible. So today we lead before you 3 speakers. I mean, one of them, and Subhash Nathan from Singapore Prudential and Adeline Yap from Malaysia AIA. They will share with you their experience, their journey about impossible leadership and how is it that today it becomes so possible. I shall not take more of your time. I will hand this back to you, Elaine, and once again, welcome everyone from Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, wherever you are. Thank you for coming. We believe this afternoon is going to be a great session for all of us. Thank you. Back to you, Elaine.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much, Gordon, in telling us what Ample Forum is about. And he's right. You will want to take down your notebooks because you are in for a treat. Today, our 3 speakers are going to be sharing a lot with you. So make sure you have a notebook beside you to take down whatever they are going to share. So with that, we are moving into our first speaker, Mr. Subhash Nathan. Subhash is an experienced MDRT speaker and 19 times MDRT qualifier. In fact, he recently spoke at the MDRT conference held in the United States. So if you are there, you have heard him. He joined Prudential Singapore back in 1999 and is now a financial service director and leader of a $1 million agency. His agency, Emanons, is 160 strong with many millennials. So as a dedicated mentor, he had nurtured multiple MDRTs, COTs, and TOT achievers. In 2022 alone, there were 50 MDRT and 1 COT qualifier in his team. I'm too excited to hear from him on how he is able to mentor multiple MDRT achievers, because I surely am. So to Team Emanons who are here, make some noise in the chat. So let's all welcome Mr. Subhash Nathan.
Hi guys, can you hear me? How's everyone? Okay guys, let's get going. It's been an honor to be invited to share in this forum. I mean, Ample Forum is one of the best forums to attend, right? Last few years, every time when Gordon ran it, it's always been fascinating to hear so many amazing people to share. So it's a real honor for me to share, and I'm so excited to share some of the concepts and ideas which has helped me, which has helped Eminence to perform over the last few years, and I hope it's helpful for you, right? So let me get going. Let me open up my sharing. Okay, I need to be able to share screen.
Hold on, give me a moment.
No problem.
Okay, go ahead. Take over the stage.
Sure. Okay, guys, can you see my slides? Hang on, it's loading.
We can see your screen, Subhash.
Is it a full screen? Let me see.
No, we are seeing the PowerPoint, so you can full screen it.
Okay, I'm trying to full screen it. Oh. Let me try again.
Okay, take your time.
Udah belum Ample?
Hang on, guys. Just a moment.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so while we are waiting for Subhash, y'all can continue to cheer him on in the chat. So from
Okay.
Team Eminence, is anybody here? Go and type in the chat that you are from Team Eminence. Woohoo! Okay, I saw one Team Eminence.
Oh, can't seem to.
Yeah, can we
Yes,
share
please.
on behalf?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Noella, can you share screen? Okay, just give us a while. Zoom has a lot of technical issues. Okay, full screen, please. All right, we are good to go.
Okay, great. Can I control from my side the slides?
I think... no, I don't think so.
Okay, guys, let's get going. Okay. Okay, it's a wonderful. Okay, today I'm going to share with you guys for lots of stuff, right? It's going to be fascinating because you're going to understand how I think and what my belief systems are with regards to how an organization should be run and how we should move forward, right? So I'm going to share with you guys about leadership, about MDRT achievement within an organization, my belief system, my philosophy, how a leadership should be, and how we should lead as leaders. Okay, next. Okay, I won't go through my accolades. I think we ran through with it. Okay, next one. Okay, before I start any presentation, I got to share with you my family. That's my wife, Susan, my son, Rohan, my daughter, Rihanna, and my baby daughter, Rovina. I've got 3 kids, the love of my life. These are the people I work so hard for. Look forward to coming home to every single day, right? So I love my family very, very much, right? But I do have a second family. Let me share with you my second family. Okay, that's my Eminence group, right? Another wonderful bunch of people, right? I know a lot of you are not from Singapore. If you ever come to Singapore, you're more than welcome to visit our agency. They're a beautiful bunch of people. I'm so glad COVID is over, right? So we all can come back to office back together. In fact, during COVID, every time we have an opportunity to come back to office, I always make sure people came back. And we love being with each other all the time, right? Okay, next. Okay, I'm going to share with you guys 4 things, right? First thing, I'm going to share with you about recruitment. I'm going to share with you about how to get people to perform. I'm going to share about how you can unite an agency. And third thing, after uniting, how can you evolve an agency year after year after year? Okay. Now, but the first thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is recruitment, right? So let's start from the beginning, right? Okay, I'm going to share with you guys about agency building, how I built the agency, but it wasn't just me. There are a few wonderful people who are with me, are always with me, who work together, right? everything that you achieve in life is never going to be a single-ended effort, right? Multiple people came across in your life who built you up. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about the history. Okay. So I got into management in 2003. I joined the career in 1999. I never ever wanted to be a leader, right? Never, right? I enjoyed doing my MDRTs. As you guys know, I've done 19 MDRTs. So by the time 2003, I already did about 3 to 4 MDRTs. So I never really wanted to be a leader. I became an accidental leader because one day one of my clients told me, "Hey, Subhash, I want to join the career. Can I join you?" And I told her, "Look, I'm not an agency leader. I'm doing sales, but let me bring you to my manager, who's Ken Chua." Right at the point of time, I said, "Why don't you just join him?" Ken being Ken, he told me, "Subhash, no, I'm not going to take this person. You become a leader and you start leading." I told him, I am not interested in being a leader. But he encouraged me and nurtured me and let me see the wisdom of being a leader in the long run. Right? He told me sales is always as an endpoint in your lifetime. But if you become a leader, it's perpetual, right? It's ever growing. So he helped me to see a bigger picture. He always told these wise words to me. He says, "Subhash, you are much bigger than MDRT." And those words always stuck to me, right? Because last time I was just obsessed about doing MDRT or COT and so on. But he made me realize you're much bigger than your MDRT. You're way more bigger than that. And that got me thinking, can I be much more than who I am right now? And I decided to take on the journey of being a leader. And it wasn't an easy journey. It took me 10 years to finally become a director, right? Okay. Now, I have to share this beautiful man called Ken Chua. So you see the little girl he's holding is my third daughter, Rowena, right? And there's a photo of us together, right? This is an amazing pen. You know, in life, you don't need a lot of people to believe in you and trust you. You just need one person. And this was the man who was there for me. He always believed in me. He always trusted my opinions. He gave me the freedom to lead the way I wanted to lead, right? Between us, we are very different characters, right? Ken he's more meticulous, he's more calm, he's more thoughtful about things. I'm on the other hand a go-getter. I'll go and get things done. I say let's get going. But the thing is this: although we are different personalities, we have the same vision, we have the same values in life, we have the same principles in life, right? With that, we never ever disagree. When it comes to values and principles, we are 100% aligned. But the way we carry out functions in life is very different. But that's probably the reasons why we connected so well. We are able to carry things out so well together, right? Next. Now, I also got to share the Eminence leaders, right? So the beauty of building a leader is, first thing, beauty of being a leader is you're able to recruit people. Then there comes the second beauty, your ability to raise other leaders. So these are the wonderful bunch of Eminence leaders. These are some recent photos. The first one was taken in Bangkok. In fact, the first two was taken in Bangkok, right? You can see how close we are, the way we hug each other, right? Okay. Now, so it was a 10-year struggle for me to become a director. In fact, I was stuck as a financial services manager for 7 years because in those period of time, there was no Eminence, right? We started Eminence only in 2010 when we really started a whole new life. Until then, we were kind of figuring things out, right? In fact, it took me 10 years. When I finally became a director, it was the most amazing feeling in the world, right? In fact, I was annoying Ken throughout the whole night, right? But because I realized that becoming a director was not just my effort, but multiple people were sacrificed for themselves for me, right? So I always appreciate people in my life, right? So in life, try to find that one person who believes in you, and that's all you need to take off in life. Okay. Now, let me share with you something about sales versus leadership, right? You guys need to understand something why you got into leadership. In sales, right, there's always an endpoint, right? There's always an endpoint, right? Because if you decide to do sales, you got to ask yourself this question. When you become 50, 60, 70 years old, who are you going to sell to? Your clients are going to age with you. And secondly, there are always younger insurance agents joining the career in their 20s and 30s or start going into the market, right? And secondly, your clients are going to be saturated, right? After a period of time, they're not going to purchase anymore. The only way you can survive, continue doing sales the rest of the career is you become a specialist. That means you have to start doing business insurance, you start doing estate planning. You really have to become an expert in something, right? Only then your age is an advantage. If not, it is not. The only other way to sustain your career perpetually is to get into management. That's the only way you can multiply yourself. So if you are entering management, is to have a perpetual career, okay? Now, the window, in my opinion, the window of opportunity for you to recruit is actually very small, right? Because after the age of 35, it can be very challenging, especially for us. We are very focused on recruiting the young ones, right? Second thing, but it doesn't mean you can't recruit after 35. You need to be very strategic. You need to be very intentional. You need to work very hard. But it's going to be much more challenging. Second thing is, if you decide to get into management, you must become a director in the shortest period of time. I tell the guys who are in Eminos, right, become a director way faster than me. And the fastest is 4 years. And we've got a couple of people who became directors in 4 years, right? But that's the fastest. Third thing is you need to recruit smart. You need to find people who are adaptable, who are willing to work, right? Okay. Now, the number one criteria for to be a leader, I always tell the guys is you must have followers. Someone must be willing to say, I'm going to follow you because I believe in you, I trust in you, I want to be like you, right? If you have no followers, you're not a leader, right? Because if you say, I'm going to be a leader, but you turn around, there's no one following you, then you're not a leader. Leaders must have someone who's willing to say, I admire you and I'm willing to follow you. The challenge is this, you need to become that person, right? Over a period of time. That's someone that people admire you, the way you carry yourself, the way you do things, the way you believe in life, okay? Now, first question to ask yourself is this, simple, would you recruit you? Would you recruit you? And would you follow yourself? Are you the kind of person who even follow yourself? So those are the first two questions to ask yourself when you get into the leadership. Now, first thing, get a clear picture why you want to recruit. What is it going to take from you, out of you to recruit? And the rewards you're going to get. You've got to be very clear about these three things. Why do I want to recruit? What is going to take out of me to succeed in this game I'm going to play? And what are the rewards I'm going to get? Okay. So why recruit, right? So for me, it was very simple, right? Why recruit? Because I wanted to become a director, very clear, in the shortest possible time, get into full override. I want to secure my future and my family's future. And the most important thing, I want to be an outstanding leader who's able to transform lives. One of the greatest joy I get is to be able to bring someone into the organization and help this person succeed, to help this person fulfill their goals, whether it's to do MDRT, to take care of their family, to be the kind of person they want to be. These are the things which motivates me, the ability to transform a life, right? Now, the other thing is this, people go into recruitment, they see it as stress. I never ever saw it as stress. I always saw it as a golden opportunity, right? The ability for you to have a chance to become a director, not many people are going to get. I also tell the guys who are running for MDRT and COT, they always tell me, Subhash, I'm so stressed. I say, why are you stressed? If you're going to do roundtable and COT, you are the one who's going to earn more income. You are the one who's going to get a recognition. It should be seen as an opportunity and not as stress. Life is always a golden opportunity. It is not stress, okay? Now, what is it going to take out of you next? Now, so what does it take for you to recruit someone, right? There are three things. Number one is intense desire. Number two is relentless effort. And number three is an inspirational being, right? These are the three things which is required, right? So let's start. I'm going to go into definition of each of them, okay? So let's start with the first one, intense desire. Now, the thing you need to get is this. For sales, right, you just need the first two things. If you have desire and relentless effort, you can do MDRT, COT, and TOT. It's more than enough, right? But if you're going to get into leadership, you do need the third one, which is an inspirational being. Leaders always need the third component, right? For you to succeed as a leader, you need all three. Okay, next. Now, let's talk about intense desire. This is my definition of an intense desire. So, intense desire is this deep feeling that you have within you that demands you to be bigger than you currently are. Now, some people have desire and some people don't, right? Or some people discover their desire later in life. And some may never discover desire later in life. So to me, it is a mystery. When we recruit someone, why some people are so driven to work and some people are not driven to work is a mystery. Or why some people discover the desire much later. But why desire is critical is this. Because when you have desire in your life, you'll view obstacles as something to step on to achieve your ultimate goal. You never view obstacles as something which is going to block you and give up. So in recruitment, you're always going to face multiple challenges, right, which you need to overcome, right? Whether people are willing to join you, whether they delay their decision, you always have to keep thinking. So if you have intense desire, you will never let anything derail your dreams or their dreams. You will press on no matter what. First thing you need to check in your heart is, do you have intense desire to become a director? That's the first thing you need to check on. Okay, next. Relentless effort. Okay. So this is actually a no-brainer. Many people do not understand the cause and effect of life. As you sow, so shall you reap, right? It's simple, but yet not internalized by many, right? Those who understand this will not be put off by rejections. They will outwork their rejections. They will put in deliberate practice to master themselves and their business. You need to know your numbers. So what I mean by this, how many people do I need to see before someone is willing to sit down and talk to me? All of those people, how many people can I influence to recruit? How many people will look into me? You need to know your numbers, right? Because as you sow, so shall you reap. If you want to reap more, you got to sow more, right? But the beauty of this saying, which I really recently learned from Jim Rohn, is this: what you have reaped in your life is what you have sown in the last 5-10 years. Now, whatever you have in your life right now, the income, whatever money is in your bank account, whatever recruits that you have, whatever success that you have, or whatever you reaped in your life right now, is also what you have sown in your last 5, 10, 15 years. So that's another way of looking at this line called, as you sow, so shall you reap. Okay? Now, the third thing is this: an inspirational being. So what is the definition of an inspirational being? Who you are as a person on the inside, which attracts people on the outside, right? Let me explain this. Inspirational being is this: who you are on the inside, which attracts people on the outside. Are you visionary? Are you determined? Are you courageous? Are you brave? Are you smart? Do you have integrity? Do you have a strong work ethic? All this comes into being an inspirational being. Now, when you do recruitment, why someone would say yes to you, right, and willing to follow you is the way you are as a person, which inspires them to say, I'm willing to follow you. Ultimately, in the first meeting with a prospect, the person is judging you the way you carry and conduct yourself. Your being is always an inside job, right? As Jim Rohn says, if you work hard on the job, every day you turn up, you're willing to make the calls and do the work, you will make a living. But the day you start working hard on yourself, who you are on the inside, that's the day your life turns around and you make a fortune. Every day you need to start working on yourself. The way you think, the way your heart is, all that matters is what's going to bring you success in life. So, is it possible to be more disciplined, more passionate, more hungrier to succeed than someone else? The answer is always 100% yes. Now, when Eminos was very tiny, right? About 10 years ago, we were only like around 20 plus people. And now we are close to, in fact, we are 170 now, right? When we were 20 plus people, I look at the bigger agencies, I look at the agencies which are more successful. The first question I ask myself, yes, they are bigger than me. Yes, they are more successful than me. But can I be more disciplined than them? Can I be more passionate than them? Can I be hungrier than them to succeed? And the answer is always yes, I can be that. So what I choose to do is I'm going to be that. And one day I will arrive, right? And you can also make that same choice. So your inspirational being is carved out of the challenges that you face in life and you overcame it. It's never formed out of easy success. Inspirational being can only be formed when you face challenges in life, right? And you need to overcome it. It's never ever formed out of easy success. So you need to want to have challenges in life because that's the only way you can have an inspirational being. Okay? Sorry. Yes. The third thing, let's talk about performance, okay? Now, the MDRT story that I have is always people are fascinated by the story. So let me share that with you. So when in 2018, Eminence was maybe around, I don't know, 40, 50 people, right? And I always went around asking people, do you want to do MDRT? Do you want to do MDRT? None of the FCs wanted to do MDRT because it was a very scary goal for them, right? So I went around and finally I found 4 people who told me, okay, Subhash, I'm willing to step up with you and do roundtable. These are the 4 people you see on the left. They were Chin, they were Candice, you know Candice, there's Paige, and there's Chris. And they said, I was willing to do with you. I said, you guys need to do exactly what I tell you to do. I guarantee you'll do roundtable. And they did. They did everything I told them to do, and they worked the whole year, and they did. So 5 of us went for roundtable, right, in Miami. You know what's the funny thing? The next year, in 2019, just because these guys did it, 16 people stood up and said, I'm willing to do roundtable with you. And you know what? Every one of them qualified for the roundtable that year. And 2020, we doubled that to 32. Next. In 2021, we had 38 MDRT qualifiers. And in 2022, we had 50 qualifiers. And along the way, we had a few COTs and 1 TOT. So what changed, right? The goal is the same. Why suddenly we can have an explosion? What changed was the belief system changed. The moment a few people did it, the rest thought, hey, it's possible. If they can do it, I can do it. Right? Sometimes in life, All you need is a spark. The moment there's a spark, and some people step up and have the courage to go for it, everything break loose, right? So this photo was taken at the start of the year. We took it at C'est La Vie, right? If you've been to Singapore, right, it's an MBS right on top, right? And all of them are fascinated. And almost 30 plus of us went this year for the roundtable meeting in the US, right? Okay, so what are the strategies that we use to help people to accomplish their roundtable, right? Number one is values, right? We have a value system in Eminence called RISC. So let me share with you the value system of Eminence. So RISC stands for something, right? Now, so if life is a game, let's assuming life is a game, and you can play many games, right? You can play the game of family, you can play the game of career, you can play the game of finances, or you can play the game of self-development. There are many games you can play in life, right? But let's talk about from the context of playing the game of career, right? From the career perspective. Back. There are always two groups of people. Number one, they're spectators, and number one, players, right? If you watch a football match, there are two groups of people always, right? The people who are spectators in the stand watching the game, other people playing, and there are people who are actually on the ground playing the game. First question you need to ask yourself, in the game of recruitment and leadership, are you a spectator or are you a player? Because if you're a spectator, you're just commenting about the game. Hey, look at this fella, he should run faster, he should work harder, he should move the ball there. I'm telling you, there are a lot of people in the leadership, they say they are doing leadership and recruitment, but they're spectators. They are not playing the game, right? Second question is, if you're going to play the game, then you have to ask yourself two questions. Okay, decide to play the game. I'm not going to be a spectator. Then you have to ask yourself two questions. The first question you need to ask yourself, what is the foundation of playing your game powerfully, effectively? Second question you ask yourself is, if I'm going to play the game, how am I going to win the game? The whole point of playing a game is to win, right? It's not to lose, it's to win. So you need to ask yourself two big questions. Okay, so let's get into the next one, right? So relationship, integrity, structure, enrollment. So R stands for relationship, I stands for integrity, S stands for structure, and E stands for enrollment. For you to win any game in life, you need to have these four pillars. These are the four pillars to winning any game in life. So I apply it to Eminence, I apply it to building up the MDRT's culture and everything else. Okay. So what is relationship? First thing we always need to focus on is make sure the relationships are integral, right? Because relationships are integral to winning any game in life. So what kind of relationships do we have in life? We have our family relationship, we have our client relationship, we have our colleagues relationship, we have our managers relationship, we have mentors relationship, we have many relationships we work on in our life. Powerful people create powerful relationships. From the context of Singapore, right? When our old Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew, which many people respect, years ago, they already know Singapore is going to be flooded some point in the future because the water levels are rising. And we know we did not have the expertise. So what did we do? We went to learn from the Dutch, how they built up the dikes. So to make sure that Singapore doesn't get flooded. Same thing, right? Our military, we got trained by foreigners, right? Our economy structure was from a foreigner. We know we don't have all the expertise, but we are willing to learn from someone else because that's what powerful people do, right? It is not about strategy. It's not about manipulation. It's about honoring the relationship. Second thing is this. In a husband and wife relationship, right? Is it a 50-50 relationship or is it a 100% relationship? It's a 100% relationship. I need to be 100% responsible to make the relationship work, and my wife has to be 100% responsible to make the relationship work. In Eminence, we practice something called completion. Do we expect relationships to break down in a family or even in a working environment? All the time, because we are all different personalities, there will be breakdown in relationship. But here's the important thing. We always want to make sure relationship complete. So whenever there's a breakdown in relationship, even when I do something which is off or which is not correct, I'll always take responsibility. I'm always the first one to say, okay, I messed up. I should have done better. I should have known better. No ego, right? So, next. So the first question to ask yourself, what are the relationships you need to take care of so that you can succeed in recruitment and sales, right? So one of the questions you need to ask yourself in your relationships, in your environment right now, is it powerful, right? Are things working, right? What do you need to take responsibility for to make it work? Okay, next. Second thing is integrity. Now, integrity is about being whole and complete. It is at the heart of making things work. Integrity means you're honest, you're truthful, and there's no cutting corners. Integrity will not make your life easy, but it will make your life simple. It is at the foundation for having power. It's about honoring your word. When I say A, I'm going to do A. But when you say A, can you do A all the time? Not all the time. But when you break your word of not doing something, you take responsibility immediately and say, okay, I'm supposed to do it, but I did not do it. I take responsibility for it. That's called integrity, right? When you don't have integrity in your life, you can't be powerful in life. You know, in 1986, right, the space shuttle took off from US, right? It took off. Within about around 96 seconds, right, the whole space shuttle exploded. Do you know why it exploded? It exploded because one little rudder, right, one little rudder ring was not functioning at 100%. It broke and the whole space shuttle broke. Just one little rudder, right, is not working and everything can fall apart. In our lives, right, sometimes even the smaller things are not working with 100% integrity. Everything can fall apart, right? So, next. So the next question you need to ask yourself is this: which areas do you need to make sure that you're working with integrity to succeed in recruitment and sales? Are you doing the numbers that you say that you do? Are you reading the books that you say that you do? Are you working on yourself every day?
Yeah.
Right? Next. Structure. Now, if you're going to
Saya nggak
create
tahu
a
ngeliatnya
game,
di mana
you say,
nih,
okay, I'm
makanya
going to get
saya-
promoted by end of December. This is the game. I'm going to recruit 20, 30 or whatever, 5, 10, whatever number you set out to recruit, right? You need to have a structure, right? Most people are lousy at managing commitments over a period of time. So what do I mean by this? At January, they set the goal. I'm going to get promoted. Or let's say I'm going to do MDRT. By June, they get disillusioned, they get tired. They say, oh, this goal is too difficult for me. What changed? Did the goal change? No. Who changed? You changed. You went through something called state change in your mind, right? You need to understand as human beings will go through state change, right? Something which was exciting at the start became a burden later part of the year, right? So the only way to manage this, you must have structure, right? The real power always in life is to know exactly where you are, right? It keeps your games vibrant, alive, and you know whether you're getting closer or further. So for advisors in Eminons, they need to update their numbers every day, right? How many appointments they're going for, how many fact finds they're doing, how many referrals they're getting. Everything has to be tracked, right? Every quarter, we know whether they're getting closer or getting further away, right? Second thing is this, right? We always have celebration. If you hit your numbers, we go out and celebrate. I'm a big believer of celebration. We must also celebrate, right? But if you don't hit your numbers, there also must be a certain level of punishment for yourself, right? So that's the way we play the game, right? Next. So next question is this: what's your structure and game plan to guarantee you succeed in recruitment and sales? Okay, next. So in a single particular year, we all have the same number of months to play. We got 12 months to play this game, right? So 12 months is the amount of time. You need to ask yourself, how I'm going to structure my game to win the game every year. And currently we have about 3.5 months left. Okay, enrollment, right? Creating new possibilities, creating new futures is your ability to touch, move, and inspire people. So what is enrollment? This is a concept some people find it difficult to understand or grasp. But enrollment is this: is your ability to create a new future for someone. When you're trying to recruit someone, you're trying to create a new future for them, right? You're trying to say where you are in your life right now, where you are in your career right now. Do you like where you're going to end up in 20, 30 years' time? If you join our career, it's going to be the most amazing future you can ever envision. When you are selling a life insurance policy, when someone buys a life insurance policy, they're buying because of the idea that if I die today, some point in the future, my family is going to get money. If I get a critical illness, I'm going to be protected, right? Your ability to recruit someone will come down to your ability to have the power enrollment, right? The ability to create new future, the ability to touch, move, and inspire people, right? It is at the heart of miraculous result. So the next question you ask yourself is, how can I ensure that you have the power to touch, move, and inspire people to join you or to buy from you? Okay. So the reflection question is this: which are the 4 pillars that's missing in your game, and how can you cause a breakthrough in that pillar? These are the 2 questions you need to ask yourself every year. At Eminons, at the start of the year, we always ask this question, right? Out of the 4 pillars last year, relationship, integrity, structure, enrollment, what was missing in the game, and how can you cause a breakthrough in that pillar? Okay. So whether you succeed in recruitment and promote always comes down to the first 6 months of the year, and whether you succeed in sales always comes down to the last 6 months of the year. So if you're going to fight for your promotion, you're going to recruit. The first 6 months of the year is very critical. Of course, you should recruit throughout the year, but the first 6 months is critical, right? If you don't fight all out in the first 6 months to recruit, promotion is very slim at the end of the year. Okay. So not do less to achieve more, but more, right? But do more to achieve even more. The paradox of human achievement is this: the ability to perform is actually unlimited. The only thing which entangles us is always our mind. There's once this manager, very young manager, he came to my room, he said, Subhash, right, this year, right, it's already October, right? I've got a chance to do MDRT. I also got a chance to promote, right? Should I go for my MDRT or should I go for my promotion? I was looking at him, I tell him, you're asking me, do I want diamond or do I want gold? The answer is take both. Why can't you do both? Then his mind flipped. He was a young manager, by the way, right? First year promotion. And he did accomplish both. He got his MDRT done, he got his promotion done. Now, I'm not saying that later years of your career as a leader, you should be doing sales. But I'm telling this in terms of the human paradox. We are able to achieve much more than we realize. Okay? So, sacrifice 1 year, right? This year is coming to an end. But my point is always at the start of the year, I always tell people, sacrifice 1 year. Work with laser sharp focus. Work with a burning desire, relentless effort to break through recruitment. And your rewards will be outstanding. Okay? So, third thing is unite. So, I went through this question about asking myself is, Eminence, who are we really? Right? What is our organization is all about? Why am I willing to work hard every day, turn up in office and willing to work day and night? Who are we? Right? So, next. So, 3 questions you need to ask yourself when you're building an agency up is this: why are you in this business for whom you need to succeed, and why is that so critically important to you? So I really sat down and asked myself this question: is it about how many MDRTs you have, how many COTs you have, how many directors you have? Is that the business that I'm in? Is that what's going to motivate me every day to be passionate, to turn up to work, be the hardest working person? I realized it is not, right? Nothing motivates me about that. So I really reflected, who are we and what is Eminence all about? Then I realized that what we are about is this. Next. Eminence is in the business of transforming every life in our organization to live with incredible purpose, passion, and wealth. This is the business which Eminence is in, right? Eminence is in the business of transforming every life to live with incredible purpose, passion, and wealth. That's our vision statement, right? If you go and talk to an Eminence person, right, they will tell you this is our vision statement. They know our vision statement. Transform every life to live with incredible purpose, passion, and wealth. Why so? Why purpose, passion, and wealth? Right. First thing we need to make sure when advisors join our organization is they need to have purpose. Now, they may not have the most amazing purpose at the start, but they will find their purpose over a period of time. It's critical, right? Second is passion, a love, right? A love for the business, a love for the organization. And third thing is wealth. The whole idea of joining this career is the ability to create as much wealth as you want, right? So purpose, passion, and wealth is what Eminence is about, okay? So this is Eminence vision statement. It is planted in our walls. If you come to office, you'll see it. Our vision is to transform every life to live with incredible purpose, passion, and wealth. So the other thing in Eminence we believe is this: success without character has no significance, right? We have a motto in Eminence called success with character, right? Because success without character has no significance. So making money by itself is temporary. I'm telling you, it's not that difficult to make money in our career. If you have decided to be the hardest working financial advisor in your country, I'm telling you, it's easy. You just see enough people, you can close case, right? But money can disappear in a second. Success with character can last for generations after
Itunya
generations.
juga udah. Apa itu sama itunya apa?
God can bless you with success, but you have the responsibility to develop the character needed to sustain that success. This much we must be very clear. Sometimes God can just bless you with sales and bless you with recruits all of a sudden, right? You may have it, but you have the responsibility to develop the kind of person you need to become to needed to sustain your success. That's your responsibility. So your model of the world evolves with age. When I was 25-year-old, in fact, I joined the career when I was 27, my view of the business was very different. Why do I come in? I wanted to take care of my mom. I wanted to earn as much money as I can. Actually, what motivated me was just going on a Star Club trip, right? I just wanted to get to Hawaii. Hawaii was the first Star Club trip. That's all. I was very simple, right? But when I was 35-year-old, my worldview different, right? Once we have a family, once you have things happening, what drives me as a 35-year-old was different as 25. And what drives me now as a 50-year-old is very different when I was younger. Now it's about transforming lives. So you need to understand your model of the world evolves with age. But when you start taking responsibility for another human being, That's when the paradigm of your world changes. I always tell the guys who are young, who got no family and nothing, I said, the moment you get married and the moment you have your first baby, everything changes, right? The way you view your world, the way you take responsibility will change. Okay, next. So I'm very ambitious. I want us to have the best agency that we can, but we will never compromise character, right? If character is at stake, I'd rather they don't do their MDRT. I don't care about their MDRT. I don't care about their COT. Character comes first, right? So I'm ambitious. The only difference is I want us to do it with character. That's it. I want two things. I want you to be successful. I want you to do it with character. Next. So if you're in a very competitive environment, I mean, Prudential is a very competitive environment with other agencies. You're competing with other agencies, you're competing with other companies, and we always need to compete. You guys need to decide, I'm going to compete, and I'm going to compete at the highest level, right? If you're in the game, like I told you guys, you're all in the game. You cannot be spectators. We need to be players. If you decide to play, you need to play at the highest level, okay? So your one regret in this career will always be this, right? When I used to talk to people who've been in the career a long time, I said, what's your one regret? They always tell me this, that you did not give your best when you had the chance. You did not reap your acres of diamond and you wilted your time away, right? For people who've been in the career for a few years, I always tell them this, have you unconsciously lowered your standards to focus on pleasurable methods rather than pleasurable results? You know what happens with agents? 3, 4, 5 years in the career, first year in the career, for MNOs, they are supposed to fix 18 appointments every week. Oh, very diligent. First year, did their MDRT with their Star Club. 5th, 6th, 7 years, they will not focus on the methods anymore. They're not fixing their 18 appointments, right? So then they were not getting the results, right? So everything changes. So unconsciously, they kept lowering the standards, and lowering the standards, right? Next. So here's the very critical things for us to understand. Comfort and growth cannot coexist. If you want success in your life, in your career, you got to give up comfort, right? You have to give up comfort. My advice to everyone is don't waste this career. The opportunities are tremendous. Insurance is one of the few evergreen business, right? It will perpetually go on. You have no shortage of leads, you have no shortage of recruits, right? It's a population, huge, plus wealth, and the streets are paved with gold. The person is willing to take the gold, all the gold is for him or for her. So the other distinction I make in the organization is this. There's a difference between manager and leader, right? Just because, I tell the guys, just because you get promoted does not make you a leader. You're just a manager. Because leadership has to be earned. You need to go through pain. You need to go through struggles. You need to learn your lessons. Then only you become a leader over a period of time. The ability to earn the respect of the people takes a period of time. Like they need to trust you, right? So there is a distinction between a manager and a leader. Next. I also make this distinction between production and character. Just because you do MDRT and COT this year does not mean you have character, right? You may have just worked hard and got it, right? I also need to look at your character, right? So character also takes a period of time. So for people to earn your trust, that you are someone responsible, honest, and trustworthy. So production is achieved by doing sales. Character is achieved by walking through fire and coming out burnt and wiser every single time. So the number one criteria for be a leader, as I told you guys earlier, you must have followers. Okay. So as a leader, I want to make this distinction clear for you all. We are responsible to you. We are not responsible for you. I make this clear to the advisors every single time. We are responsible to you, but I'm not responsible for you. So what's the difference? Okay. Here's the distinction, right? The law of responsibility says this, right? The law of responsibility says that you're responsible for yourself and to others, right? The lines must be always be clear, whether you're helping others to do what they should be doing for themselves. So are you empowering them or are you doing for them what they are supposed to be doing for themselves? I always tell the guys, right? This is the essence of being responsible to someone. I cannot pick up the phone and call for you. I cannot develop yourself for you. I cannot be reading the books for you. I cannot be getting the knowledge for you. All this you need to do for yourself because you need to be responsible for yourself, right? So what is the leader's job then? What is our job? Our job is always to encourage, is to confront them occasionally when they go off, is to empower them, right, when they go down, is to challenge them, right, when they do mistakes, is to give them resources, be a coach, cajole, support, and all the other things to help them fulfill their responsibility. That's our job without actually doing it for them. it must always, but the distinction is this: as we confront, as we empower, it must always come from a place of love and empathy. That is the line. So when I challenge our guys, when I push them, when I tell them you're much more capable than that, right? It always comes from a place of love and empathy, because I know they are better than that. I know their potential. I know how capable they are, right? So I know people are capable of playing a much bigger game than what they think for themselves, right? The beauty of leaders is this: we always think people bigger than who they actually are right now, right? But there is a lot of responsibility. They need to do things for themselves, right? I'm responsible to you. I'm not responsible for you. Next. So as an advisor, what should you do? What's your job then? As an advisor, your job is this. Right? Set a mind-blowing goal and ask yourself this. Every year, at the start of the year, set a mind-blowing goal, something you've not done before, and ask yourself the question. Number one, right? What do I need to do to achieve this goal? What should I change within me to make my dreams come true? And commit to making that change. That's it. 3 things. First, set a mind-blowing goal, and then ask yourself, what do I need to do to achieve it? What should I change within me to make my dreams come true? And commit to making that change. Next. So what is leadership committed to? Leadership is always committed to this: giving you the best support, the best resources, and the best environment in every way we can. That's our job as leader, right? Resources, support, and environment, so that our guys can be responsible for themselves. Next. So I always tell our guys, leaders will make mistakes, right? That's all. It is not possible to be perfect all the time. We will make mistakes, but here's the only thing I request: give us a chance to redeem, right? Give us a chance. When we make mistakes, we'll always be honorable and say, okay, fine, I should have done better than that, right? But give us a chance to redeem, and don't take the leadership for granted. Next. So the 3 things at the heart of an organization is this. Number 1 is success. The organization has to work towards being successful, which is to win the game. Leadership, and thirdly, which is heart, which is the love for the organization. Okay, next. So let's move on to the 4th thing. I've covered recruitment, I've covered performance, I've covered how to unite the organization, which is the vision statement. The 4th thing is, how can we keep evolving? So Jack Welch says this: good business leaders create the vision, articulate the vision, passionately own the vision, and relentlessly drive it to completion. So as leaders, right, you need to be very clear about what's your vision for the organization. So to me, it took me years and years and years to come to our vision statement, right? Transform every life to live with incredible purpose, passion, and wealth. That's the vision. So I'm very clear. I keep articulating it to our guys. I keep passionately owning the vision. I keep relentlessly telling everyone, this is the vision. This is what we are in business for. We are not in the MDRT or COT business. We are in the vision of transforming lives. Next. So energy is the basis for all change. It takes extraordinary energy to be extraordinary. One of the things I can tell you, if you want to be extraordinary in life, you need to have extraordinary energy, right? Without energy, nothing changes. So, and how can we optimize and maximize our impact and profitability in our business, regardless of the marketplace and external environment we are in? To me, it does not matter the Singapore conditions, what's the market changes, what's the product changes, what other companies are doing. All this is irrelevant to me. To me, in any circumstances, we can thrive. We can always find a way to thrive. But it's going to take extraordinary energy. So, business success comes down to 2 things. Number 1 is psychology. Number 2 is the mechanics, right? How to do it, how to find people, who to talk to. All that is the mechanics. But I'm telling you, 80% of your business is going to come down to the way you think, right? It's going to come down to your psychology and how you perceive life and how you perceive the business. So, sorry, can you go back? Yeah. There are 3 levels of mastery in the business. Number 1 is cognitive mastery. Number 2 is emotional mastery. Number 3 is physical mastery. So what is cognitive mastery? Cognitive mastery is very simple, right? It's really the intellectual understanding. How many approaches I need to make, how many recruits I need, how to dress, how to attract, how to market ourselves, right? How can I make myself irresistible to the candidate such that the candidate wants to join me? They're just knowing your numbers intimately well, right? That's cognitive mastery in your brain. The second mastery you need is emotional mastery, right? You need to feel it. You need to want it. You need to have intense desire. And you need to have consequences when you don't perform, right? That's emotional mastery. The third mastery is embody it, actually doing the work, right? So you understand it intellectually, you know it in your heart how badly you want it. The third thing is actually doing it. That's your physical mastery. Okay, next. So if you are in the business, always when you are in business, you're going to have problems. In fact, in life, you're going to have problems. The only question is this: do you want to have a high quality problem or do you have a low quality problem? So whenever the year starts, I always set a high quality problem, because I know that if I don't set the problems, I'm going to have other problems in the organization. So the problems we set for ourselves this year is this. I wanted to set the problem of achieving a growth to 250 advisors. We are currently about 170. We want to get to 250. I set a goal of 70 MDRT producers and to have 25 managers, right? So I decided I'm going to set the problem for the organization. Now we're going to solve this problem, because I know that if I don't set the problem, I'm going to have all the smaller problems coming up, right? I'm pleased to say with regards to 25 managers, we have achieved it, but we haven't achieved the other two, but we're going to work on it very hard, right? Next. Now, the other thing is this: you always get what we tolerate in life, right? Whether it's in business, work, parents, clients, or lovers and parents. Remember this: you always get what you tolerate in life. If your tolerance level is very low, that's what you're going to get. I don't have a low tolerance ever. In fact, I have a very low tolerance, right? I demand excellence from people because I think people are much more capable than that. So you always get what you tolerate in life. Next. So the other thing we need to understand is this: if you're running a business, which is our business, is you're always running two companies, right? You're running the company that you're working on today, which is your current task, which is your recruitment, which is your number of people you're meeting, how many people you need to attract. That's the current business you're running, the day-to-day business, right? You cannot take your eyes off your day-to-day business, but you need to work on the second business, which most people don't work on. The company you're going to become in 3 to 5 years' time, right? That's also a business you need to work on, right? Most people are so entrenched in the current business. They're so busy working on short-term goals. They don't work on the long-term goals. So for Aminos, right, we work on two businesses always. We work on the current business, which is the how many MDRTs or how many promotions or how many recruits, which is the current business. We also spend time as leaders. We come together twice a year to work on the future business, where we want to be in 3 to 5 years' time, and how can we innovate and change things and market ourselves to be that company in 3 to 5 years' time, right? Because if we don't start talking about the company we want to be, we'll always be the company we currently are, right? So if you want your business to grow, you need to innovate. Next. So innovation and marketing are two keys to incredible wealth. So Peter Drucker was a marketing expert. He said this: there's only one valid definition of business. Our purpose is to create a customer. Because his purpose is to create a customer, any business enterprise has basically two functions: marketing and innovation, right? So what is innovation? We spend every year when we come together as leaders, right? We have a retreat. We look at all the processes, our new agents training. We say, what can we innovate in this? Our recruitment experience for people who experience anyone in Aminons. How can we innovate? How can we make it better, right? How can we be the kind of company we want to be in 3 to 5 years' time, right? Everything that we are working on, we want to innovate to make it better, because we're never satisfied. So innovation is a specific instrument of entrepreneurship. All entrepreneurs have to innovate, right? That's the act that endows resources with a new capacity. When you innovate, you're starting to create new wealth, right? If you don't innovate, you're just the current person that you are. Okay, next. Next. Okay, so to break through the noise in any business, you have to be seen as an expert in something. Okay. So keep in marketing, keep innovating, you will keep winning. Business will always grow your spirit, right? And your soul. If you're very involved in business, it will always keep growing your spirit. It will always keep growing your soul. But you need to keep marketing. Marketing means once you innovate, people need to know you exist. The beauty of the current world right now, right? You got Instagram, you got Facebook, you got so many opportunities to market yourself in a world like 20 years ago, we didn't have it, right? So huge opportunities to market yourself. Okay, next. So I just want to end off by saying this: the 3 rules to live your life by, right? Number 1 is to do what is right. First thing is to do what is right, right? I love this saying by this person called Saint Francis of Assisi, right? He said this: start by doing what is possible, and very soon you're doing something which is impossible. All we have to do is start by doing is what is possible, right? If you have the ability today to meet 3 people a day and go for 18 appointments a week, which is possible, then do it. If you do that consistently, right, for a period of time, very soon you're doing something which is impossible. But start by doing what is right and what is possible. Second thing is this: do everything to the best of your ability, within the time you're allocated, right? That is something all of us can do. We can do what is right, and secondly, we can always do everything to the best of our ability. third thing is this: always show people that you care, right? When you run an organization, people need to know that you care for them. Even when you drive people to perform, they need to know where your heart is. Next. All of you are going to be wealthy if you follow these three very simple rules. But you know what? As an agency leader, there's a fourth thing. You have an opportunity to be significant. The beauty of an agency leader life is this: the moment you bring a life into your agency, you have a chance to be significant in this person's life, which not many people get an opportunity for. Right? So what is significance? Significance is this: when you help other people become successful, and that can last many a lifetime after. You know, when you bring a FC into your agency, you help this person become an MDRT, you help this person become successful. Do you know that his family life changes? And not only his family life changes, his future family, his future generation of family, his children's life changes, because you have a chance to be significant in this person's life. So those are the four things, right? Do what is right. Second, do everything to your best of your ability within the time that you have. Show people you care. And the beautiful thing, as an agency leader, as an insurance leader, agency leader, you have the opportunity to be significant, right, to your advisors. Next. So my wish for all of you this year and the rest of your career is this: that you'll use your opportunity to be an agency leader to become significant by transforming the lives you have in your hands, your FC's lives, your recruits, and whoever joins you in your agency. I'll finish off with this. So be significant, and God bless everyone. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Okay. Thank you so much, Subhash, for your sharing. You know, even though I'm not in the financial industry, I feel that all the things that you have shared are things that even I can apply in my own life and be significant. So thank you so much. Now, as you are sharing, we have a lot of questions coming into the Q&A box. So let's get right into it. Okay, the first question I have for you, Subhash, is what are the challenges faced to building an organization like Emanons?
So there are multiple challenges, as I told you guys, right? As we kept growing year after year, you know, when we were 50 size, 60 size, 70 size, there are a few challenges, but one of the critical challenges is to keep the organization united, right? To keep the organization united is one of the biggest challenges we face. Because when you are in a smaller size, it's much more easier for the advisors to understand our hearts, right? Because we are close, right? Our doors are open every time anybody can come and see us. But as we kept growing, we have new challenges, right? Our heart is the same. We love the guys. We want them to do well, right? But to get our message across, right, why we believe in certain values, certain policy systems, it needed a lot of communication, right? So the bigger we grow, we realize that we need to have more communication avenues to allow people to feedback to us and for us to communicate back to them.
Okay, thank you so much. And okay, so the second question I have for you is why focus on recruiting millennials and Gen Z?
Because the young are the future of the world, for sure, right? Because the beauty of recruiting people in their 20s or even early 30s is they bring in new ideas, they bring in new energy, right? I'm not saying the older people don't do that, but the young people are always creative. So the Gen Zs are very different from the millennials. And after the Gen Z passes is the next generation, right? These guys are creative. They are very savvy. They understand business, right? So the beauty of an organization, if you have combined both, you have people who are elders, right? Who have seen the business for 20, 30 years or even 10 years, and people who are young. That combination is unique. But the growth sector is always the young ones. You should have an overwhelming number, or at least a huge number of people who are the young ones, right? It helps the organization to renew itself.
Okay. So the next question is, what is the key reason to reach directorship in the shortest time? What is the advantage and what may be compromised, if any at all?
No, I think it comes down to your capacity, right? So it is going to take a certain level of effort. I told you guys there are three things you need, right? Intense desire, relentless effort, and inspirational being, right? If you decide to play the game of becoming a director, yes, if you're given 4 years to do it, and that 4 years is the shortest time, go for it. But if it's going to destroy your family, it's going to destroy everything, it's going to destroy your health, if it's going to take you 5, 6, 7 years, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Take a little bit more time, but manage yourself, right? So at the end of the day, the destiny is still the same. You're going to get to it at some point, right? It took me 10 years, right? But you need to know yourself well. What are you capable of and how much are you willing to sacrifice? So there's something you need to understand yourself.
So it's more of them really managing their time, ensuring that their family life and everything isn't affected as they pursue the goal.
But whenever I say that, right, the other thing is this: are you giving 100% effort? That's the
Mm.
first thing you need to ask yourself, right? Are you giving 100% effort?
So what are some like advice you would give them in qualifying whether they are giving in 100% effort?
I think people know, right? People know. So one of the pet peeves, I mean, I was just saying it this morning, was that, I mean, insurance agents are a very funny bunch of people, right? My mom was in the hospital, right? She has passed on already, but she was hospitalized for a year actually. So the surgeon came in the morning at 6 a.m. and to brief us before the surgery, right? Then after that, he went to do his rounds to see the patients. Around 8 or 8:30 a.m., he started surgery. It's a heart surgery. She had to go to a heart valve replacement. 6 hours surgery, he was in the surgery board. He finished around 2, around there. Came out of surgery, explained to us what happened, what went well, and what are the challenges. Finished work, went to do his rounds after that. After that, went back to his clinic, went home 7, 8, 9 p.m. And that's a surgeon's life, right? 8, 9 hours of work. I asked myself, I'm looking at him, say, why am I not, as a financial advisor, working 100% like him? Financial advisors are very different. The moment there's a problem at home, they drop everything and go back at home. But where's your 8-hour responsibility to the career, right? Every other job I know out there, they have to do their 8, 9 hours of work and then go home and take care of all the other issues they have in life. Financial agents are the insurance agents are the only ones. The moment there's a problem at home, they drop everything and say, "Oh, I got a problem at home. I got to go and handle." Huh? No other career does that. Only financial advisors do that. So my question, when you ask me what is 100% effort, have you given your 9 hours effort to the career, like you would do if you're in any other job? Yeah.
Right. So that is very helpful because I think time for financial advisors is a luxury, but sometimes this luxury can turn out to be a weakness for us as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So next question that I have for you is, what are the recruitment activities in Emanons like?
Okay, we have we also innovated a few things recently. Okay, so the recruitment activities is a few things. Number one, we have something called a career forum, where usually I speak or a couple of other managers speak. It's an opportunity for people who are interested in joining M&Os to come and have a feel. It's a 2-hour session. The first hour is very much on the sales aspect of the job. Second hour is very much towards leadership aspect of the job, right? We also have fun stuff like once a week there is a drink session where people can go out and have drinks. There's something called e-mingles where they have an opportunity to come and meet the organization. We do a lot of recruitment activities in the campuses because we are very keen to recruit young people. Actually, there are a lot of things going on. We create events for people to come and experience who we are. Right? But we are constantly reaching out, right? The other thing is every day is an opportunity to recruit because if you're going out to meet clients, it's an opportunity to ask clients for referrals for recruitment. Right? So there are always opportunities.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. Right, so we still have a lot of questions. I hope that we can cover as many as possible because everyone wants a piece of your wisdom. So the next question I have is, could you share your key success factor that made you grow double in a time of difficulties? For example, during the pandemic.
The funny thing was pandemic was a game changer for us, right? I don't know, it helped us a lot in a strange way, right? I was very worried in 2020. I remember in April when Singapore shut down, I was thinking, my goodness, how are we going to sell now, right? Because you're so used to face-to-face selling, right? But the funny thing happened was when we transited to Zoom, right? Singapore and Prudential was excellent in this. I have to give credit to them, right? Because within few weeks we could do sales via Zoom, right? We could do electronic selling and everything, right? So people were stuck at home, right? So what I did was this: I didn't want to leave people alone at home, so I needed to know what they're doing. So all the trainings which we used to do face to face, in our office, everybody has to turn up 9 a.m. every morning. We did 9 a.m. trainings every morning in the morning, Monday to Friday. We didn't change much of the structure, but everything was Zoom. Let's share with you one thing I did. New agents training, right? Because at the end of when it was Zoom and everybody's at home, I have no idea what's happening at home in their life. I don't know whether they're okay or not okay. So I did something called a reflection, where new agents in the first 6 months have to do reflection every night and it has to be sent to a chat group. It's very simple questions, 3 questions. What I did well today in terms of career, what I need to improve on, and what am I grateful for. So every night they have to answer these 3 questions. So we knew what was happening in their life. And the third question was powerful because I always wanted to end the day that no matter how difficult your career is, there's always one positive you can be happy about life for, right? So these are the little tweaks we did during COVID period, right? All trainings remained, but everything was via Zoom, right? But the business took off actually during the few years of COVID.
So
Yeah.
I believe that Amanon did very well during that year as well, right?
We did. This year is a
Yeah.
challenge. But previous years was good. This year is a challenge.
Actually, when we are talking about like Zoom and right now the pandemic is I would say almost open, that we can meet people face to face. Are the activities in Amanon still, relevant or on par with what they were doing in pandemic?
It's actually okay. During pandemic, people could go for 6, 7, 8 appointments per day because everybody's stuck at home, right? Everybody's stuck at home, right? So they're happy to talk to anyone, talk to an advisor via Zoom, no issue. But now it's kind of a bit of a hybrid. Like people are doing some appointments via Zoom and some appointments face to face. I would say it's a bit lesser because of the travel time. It's a bit lesser compared to COVID time.
I see. All right. So thanks for sharing again. The next question is, what's one leadership skill that proven made you successful as of now?
I think one of the questions one of the FC asked me last time I was having lunch with him, he said, Subhash, what's the biggest challenge in life? I think the biggest challenge for all leaders is to master yourself. I think that's the challenge. I think the biggest leadership skill you need to have is the ability to master yourself, right? The inner mastery is where we struggle with. I think the outer mastery, how many calls to make, everything we know. But the ability to master your emotions when you're struggling, the ability to master your discipline is the most important thing to master yourself. The key thing is your ability, do you have control over yourself? That's the key. If you're able to lead yourself, you're able to lead others. We can't even talk about leading others when you can't even lead yourself, right? The first person you need to be able to lead is yourself.
So do you have some advice for the floor on how they can, learn to lead themselves?
I listen to a lot of podcasts and Stoics. I mean, I like the Stoic philosophy. I listen to a lot of Stoic philosophy. If you can't, you should go and explore it. It's fascinating. There's a guy called Marcus Aurelius, who's an emperor, Roman emperor, wrote a book 20 years ago. In fact, he didn't write it. It was a personal diary, right, for his own thoughts. But it's very powerful to look into someone's mind.
Yeah.
So I do listen to a lot of things. I do journal every day. At the start of the day, I do write down all the things, what I want to do for the day, who am I, what are my value systems. I write it down every day, right? Just to internalize within myself, because I know that if I don't start the day doing this, everything else is going to take over my mind and spirit. So before someone else take over my mind and spirit, I better take over it myself. So I start the day by journaling, right? I set out my intentions for the day and all that. Yeah.
So that
These
is
things
also
help.
that's also one way that you try and keep yourself accountable, right? To the things
myself.
that you laid. I see.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very helpful. I don't have the habit of journaling. Maybe I can.
Okay, it's not easy. I tell you, it's not easy, right? There are a couple of days I miss, but I make sure every morning I just have a cup of coffee and I do it. Yeah.
So
It
it's
takes me
getting yourself into routine.
in the routine. And there's a power to routine. Actually, if you do something daily, right, it's actually very powerful. Yeah.
Okay, all of us should try journaling. Get a
Yes,
coffee
I
and
recommend
start
it.
our day, right? All right, we still have a few more minutes, so let's run through the last few questions. So this is I think I forgot which question, but okay, let's is it important as an agency leader to be MDRT themselves?
Okay, so there's always 2 schools of thought, right? Some people believe that the moment you become a leader, you should not do any sales anymore. You should just do 100% recruitment. That's one school of thought. There's another school of thought. If you're capable of doing both, why not, right? I personally think it's a transition. I think in the early years, when you first get promoted to FSM, I mean, I don't know what's your term, but it's called AFSM or Financial Services Manager. The first few times, you have to do your sales. I feel you cannot completely let go of sales. I think it's tough because your income will drop. But also look at it this way. Going for a sales appointment is also an opportunity to recruit. So when I was a young person, when I went up to management, right, every sales appointment, at the end of the sales appointment, I'll ask the person, do you know anyone else who's looking for a career change? Do you know someone who's not happy in their job? How about you? Are you open to the career? So I multiplied myself. Sales appointment was also an opportunity to do recruitment for me. But I think if you ask me now, I still do some sales because I still have my existing pool of clients, but it's almost minimal. My whole focus is on Eminence, on the agency, and helping the advisors succeed, right? So to me, it's a transition, right? At the end of it, it should be a zero, right? Right.
Okay.
It cannot be at the first year of your leadership, you become 0 sales. I don't recommend it personally.
I see.
I think you should be able to do MDRT. Yeah.
So as best as you can, if you can manage, then go ahead as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. Okay, one more question for you. So how do you bond and bridge the generation gap between your young agents? Because we mentioned that, you are recruiting millennials and now Gen Zs. I believe that with different generations come different problems. Okay, so the question is, how do you bond and bridge them? Is it very time consuming? And how do you, manage all these young people?
Okay. It's not. I mean, it's a joy and also a challenge at times. I think we have a certain way of thinking. I have a certain way of thinking how a business should be run. I shared, in fact, whatever I shared with you guys just now is the actual slides which we use to share with my guys in our organization, right? A lot of the material, especially RISC. So I do inculcate relationship, integrity, structure, enrollment. I help guys to understand. If you want to win, if you join this career, you could join to succeed, right? Then you have to listen to me, right? You have to follow a structure because no point asking whether this works or that doesn't work because that's the way it's going to work, right? I do things, I think you want to succeed in the shortest time, this is the way to succeed. So young people, they have a few strengths, which is amazing, right? They can multitask, they are creative, they have a lots of ideas. But some of the areas where they struggle with is the ability to discipline themselves, right? The tenacity, the tenaciousness, which the older generation has. They're very strong internally, right? One little thing goes wrong, they don't get affected. They know how to deal with it, right? So it's a compliment, but I think the best way to bridge is to communicate, is to talk, right? We do spend time talking. In fact, I think I can be better at it, to be honest. That's one of my area of growth, I feel. I think in fact, I've been reflecting about it recently. I think we need to improve on our communication with the organization as well, right? Because I think some of the things we communicated just did not land right. Although we are clear, they don't get it. So I'm going to put in more effort on that. But it takes a lot of communication.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so our time is almost up. I have one final question from you, for you, sorry. Okay, just now we talked a lot about managing our time, mastering yourself. So this question asks you, how do you balance your time and energy between your career and other priorities, such as like your family, me time throughout the week?
I explained to my wife that, I mean, like I told you guys, right, I'm an entrepreneur. We are entrepreneurs. I work. I mean, Monday to Thursday, I usually work quite long, 8, 9. But I told my wife, Saturday is all yours. Anything you want, you can do. You want me to go to the supermarket and buy stuff? No problem, right? I'll drive you anywhere you want. The whole Saturday is yours, right? Sunday morning is also yours, right? Friday night as well. But Friday night depends unless we have events and stuff I need to go, right? But see, my explanation I gave is very simple, right? But if my wife says, she's from Vietnam, she said, okay, I want to go back a week at some point. I say, anytime you want to go back, we can go back. No problem. But working weeks are working weeks for me. They're very important to me, right? But also, like I recently went back 1 week. In fact, the whole family went to Korea 2 weeks ago. We went 8 days in Korea. We had a great time in Korea, right? But now I'm back to work. Work is work, but family time is family time. I need to find a way to segregate things out. Me time, I exercise, right? So that's one of the things which keeps me going. I read and exercise. So that's my me time for me. But you need to structure your week very clearly. So one of the things on a Sunday afternoon, I just structure my week up, right? The 3 things, right? Career, family, and me time is structured up. So I stick to it.
Okay, it's so interesting. We would love to see how your calendar looks like.
Oh my gosh, okay.
But thanks for sharing so much with us. I'm sure that all of us here have gathered many insights from you. And I think, that's all the questions we have. Thank you so much for your time, Subhash.
No problem. My pleasure. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the opportunity for me to share. I'm so happy to see so many of you here, right? All the best for the year and the future.
Okay, thank you. All right, so that was Subhash. I'm sure that all of you have gained many, many things. Even myself, I have learned a lot of things from him. And of course, I hope that from his sharing, we will take away one special thing, which is be significant. I believe that this is something that all of us can learn to do in everybody else's life. So before we move on to the next segment of our forum, we will go into a 5-minute stretch break. So go and get a cup of coffee, go to the toilet, and we'll see you back in 5 minutes.
When you see the word manager and leader, the next question you got to ask is, are you more a manager or more a leader? You see, we need both. Hear me again. In running an agency, you need both managers and leaders. And many times you yourself basically perform these two roles. So therefore, we need to understand ourselves. Are we more a manager or more a leader? Which is very important, because as I prepare this talk, it made me also realize a lot of things. That why is it that many people could not reach their goals in agency building or achieve what they want to achieve? To me, it's because many of them, the manager part of them is stronger than the leadership part of them. Because if you really want to reach your goals in your agency building, you need to know that the leadership part of you need to rise up more, and not the manager part of you, even though these two are always so intertwined together, because we just can't split them. So let's go through. When we talk about manager, we are talking about doing things right. And when we talk about leader, we are talking about doing the right thing. Well, are we playing with words? Isn't it the same? Now it sounds the same, but they are not actually the same. So let's dwell on it. There are many things we can talk about this, but now we just want to share with you 5 points on the leaders, on the manager, and on the leader. You see, doing things right for manager, they focus on training or they focus on program. They're very, very into trainings. Who are the speakers? What's the program? What's the schedule? So these are important, necessary as a manager. In fact, for us, it's very necessary. Manager, we always plan this for the whole year, whole month, whole week, whole quarter. We all do a lot of this kind of thing. But if we are not careful, sometimes while doing all these things, we forget about the people. Look, when we talk about trainings, getting speakers, whatever, it's for the people, isn't it? But sometimes we are so fixated into all these things, we overlook the people who are in the training. And then when we talk about the people in the training, we are very fixated about only one part of aspect of it is the sales, production, but overlook among the people sitting down there, who do you think has the potential that can grow, can groom? Who have you noticed that has the potential to be the future leader in your agency? Only a leader will see something like that. If not, manager will only see the program at the end and say, oh, today our training is not bad. Not bad. Oh, good training, good speaker. Then you feel that you have accomplished something. That is a very manager kind of thinking. Second, manager will ask what and when. What is the next program? What is the next training? Or when are we going to do this? When are we going to do that? But the leader part of you, if you have that, will ask, why are we doing this training? How are we going to change? So the how, Subhash mentioned innovation. It's always the how. How do we improve? How do we make a difference? Why are we doing this? So the third part is, excuse me, I'm having this itchy throat. Let me fix myself with some hot water so that I will not be coughing. So the next part of it is doing things right. On the manager is they accept the status quo, whereas the manager will challenge status quo. Let me share with you a story. It's so often in many places that I travel. I've been to this country, spoke to this agency, and this is a top agency leader. They call it agency leader. And after my training, he came to me and said, Gordon, your training was fantastic. In fact, for me to attend your training, you should consider yourself very successful, because I already stopped attending training, but I heard about you, so I came. It was fantastic. I said, oh, that's great. Thank you for your support. Then I said, since you think my training can help the agency, would you want to do something about it? Would you want to implement this and promote this to the rest of the agency in the company? His answer shocked me. He said, your training is too good. but why should I promote your program to other people? I was shocked because we in our insurance people, we always consider ourselves as people we share. We share generously. But here's one guy who said, why should I promote your program where it's so good? I should just stay where it is and I have no intention to implement anything new, even though your program is so good. He said, why? Because there's no need to. Whatever my people currently, they're already doing good, and I plan to stay that way. I was shocked. 2 years ago, last year during Zoom, I was still in a lockdown. A company engaged me to train them on recruitment, on agency building. So I worked with them, journey with them for 3 full months. 3 full months means every week for 3 months, I coached them. And at the end of the 3 months, the feedback from this company, the leaders who attended, are all great feedback. Wow, Gordon, your training blew our mind. The system was really good, powerful. And they concluded, but it was too painful. You know, so much talk about comfort. You want success. You cannot say you don't want you cannot say you want comfort and you still want success. Certain things got to go. And this manager, they feedback together with the company staff. The company staff was totally blown away because they spent the money to engage me, and this is their feedback. Say that, Gordon, your system was good, but we have made up our mind. We just stick to our old ways. The old ways, we are comfortable, not so painful. Your way, really good, but it's too painful. You see, these are the managers, part of them talking. There is no leadership in this statement at all. They do not want to challenge the status quo. They know that it's not working. And number 4, think now. It's always about the now, about this year, this quarter. It's always about the bottom line. You will see managers talk about such thing, and this thing bothers them. I will hear so many times from managers, they will tell me, Gordon, you know, market is down. We're in a lockdown, economy down. All the reasons, sales are down, commission are down. Gordon, we got no money. You see the manager part of it is talking. They're always the bottom line. Well, sales down. They don't look future. They don't. Then what about the expansion? Because sales is down. That's why we need to recruit, isn't it? Because business are bad. When the economy is bad, this is a season for recruitment. They don't see things. Because if you see things like that, this is a leader seeing things. But a manager always see now. And then they say, because leader got no money, commission is down. So they say, your coaching fee, you know, they always talk such things. You notice it's the manager part of them who is talking, not a leader part of them that talking. The leader is weak. The manager part is strong. Because they only see the now, they don't see the future. They don't see the expansion of it, they only see the sales part of it. Last, I want to share with you, the manager part is running from the head. They see things. It bother them. But the leader will always run from the heart. The heart don't see things, they believe in things. They believe in things that it is possible, it can be done. So I hope you understand this when we talk about leadership, which part of what I said resonate with you? Are you more a manager or are you more a leader? So as I reflect back over the years of my coaching, training many managers or leaders, surprisingly, most of the people that I talk to are more of a manager. Very few are leaders, but yet they call themselves agency leader, agency manager. So which is which? The term is so used interchangeably. Well, I want to say again, in running an agency, we need both. We need both. So if you think about it today, which one are you? Many who just come to me painfully, they like what they're learning, but they're just not willing, or they just struggle to implement or execute the thing that they've learned from me, and they give up. That is the manager part. A leader will not give up. A leader, when they stumble upon a pot of gold, when they stumble upon the truth, the wisdom, like what Supa shared, they will go all out. They will not give up. They will not talk about the money. They will not talk about the pain. They just say, I want to challenge the status quo. I want to grow. I want to expand. The heart is speaking because they see their people, they see the future, they ask the why, and they talk about the how. So I hope you pick up you can pick up for yourself right now. Who are you? Are you more a manager or more a leader? Then now I want to bring to you the word sustainability. Now today, if there is going to be, just like for example, your agency is a startup. You know, today we are in a startup world where many people will look for venture capitalists or investor to invest into your startup. So imagine today somebody come to your agency and you're asking somebody to invest into your agency because your agency is going through the growth, the expansion. You know, investor usually will ask this question. They will ask this question, is your business sustainable? I mean, that's fair. I'm going to invest money into your business. I need to ask the question, is it sustainable? And to answer this question will lead to the next question, is your business transferable? Is it duplicable? Is it scalable? Because only if it's transferable, it's duplicable, it's scalable, then it's sustainable. And you have all these things, then in the end, it will be very profitable. Only the investor can see that it's profitable, then they will invest. But to be profitable, these are the few things that they will ask. Is it your whatever you're doing now or your business, is it transferable? Is it duplicable? Is it scalable? Is it sustainable? So here we are again. In agency building, whatever you are right now, is what you are doing transferable? Some people say, yes, we also have systems. I heard it so many times in the agency. Is it duplicable? Yes, we can duplicate. Is it scalable? They say, yes, but it's not sustainable. Guys, then whatever you say up there is not true because it will not be profitable if it's not sustainable. So therefore, sustainability among all these things is the key. If you are sustainable, you can transfer, it must be able to sustain. Duplicable, it must be able to sustain. Scalable, must sustain. Then it will be profitable. So in your agency, is it sustainable? Many people are not able to sustain. Why? Because the leadership part of it is weak. You want to be sustainable, the leadership part of you has to be strong. So today, as you're hearing me, if you're struggling with agency building all these years, reflect, think back. Why? Because it did not occur to you that all this while you're running agency, building agency, you're building very strong on the management side of you, not the leadership of you. Both are important, but if you really want to grow, break through, then the leadership side of you got to come out more. So let me share with you the definition of sustainability. Basically, it's referring to a practice of using resources and managing activities in a way that meets the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. Wow, what a powerful definition. Basically, it's saying that today, you want it to be sustainable, it has to be built into something that the current generation, you meet the needs now, people who are with you, your agent, your downline manager, you meet their generation, but at the same time, the future generation that's going to come, hey, they can also take care of their own needs because of this generation, the things that they do. So you see the three keywords there: using resources, managing activities, meet the needs. So let's talk about these three words to understand sustainability better. And these three words is usually depicted as having three interconnected pillars. And these three pillars, basically, you can see in the context of our business, is recruitment, retention, production. These three interconnected pillars are flanked by two very important pillars of management and leadership. Is always flanking around this whole thing for these three interconnected pillars to perform, to do its work. Without the management, without the leadership, it won't happen. But here, when we talk about sustainability, the leadership part of you got to rise. Many people, it's only the management part of it, and it is not sustainable. So therefore, we already define what is sustainability, and I want to bring to you, and then now let's go through the three keywords on using resources, activities, and needs one by one. Let's explore that together. So when we talk about resources, what are the resources? What are we referring to in our business, in our context? To me, everybody has these resources: time, people, and money. These are resources, isn't it? Subhash talk about time. He talk about your self-mastery. Everybody got 24 hours, 7 days a week. So This is fair to everybody. Whether you are the richest man on earth or the poorest man on earth, you have the same amount of time. So guys, how do we use our time today? How do you see this from a manager view or a leadership view? That is your resources. The people, guys, I always talk to many people. Sometimes I visit their office, they have agents. Some big agency, many agents, some are smaller agency, not so many agents, but it's still people. If the leadership of you rise up more, you will know that even though the people are few, all you need are the quality people. You don't need many. You need 6% of 3%. You can transform the world together. But agency today, you notice in many countries, they have hundreds or thousands of people. But the leadership of them didn't see it that way. They're basically having people. They do not see these people are your resources. How do you groom them, nurture them to be future leader with you? The next is money. You know, I met so many people in our business. For those who are doing well, they will say no money. They will say no money to invest in themselves, but their money to buy their car, their house, their holidays. So these resources is the thing to give you the sustainability, but which part of you see it from the leadership level? If you see this, you see these resources differently. The money, the first thing is to do is to invest in yourself. Invest into your business, invest into your people, and the time that you spend is how your business will be sustainable moving forward. The next thing is talking about activities. The managing the activities. So what kind of activities are we talking about? Again, we are talking about these three activities: recruitment activities, retention activities, and the production activities. In fact, whatever that you heard Subhash share just now, he talked about these activities. Interwoven into all his points is basically these activities. Later part of the sharing of this forum, you will hear the next speaker talk about these activities in greater details. Okay, hopefully it will open up your mind. Now we talk about the next point is the need of the present generation. What kind of need? I want to tell you, long-term vision is a very important need. What is the need of this business currently in your agency or this career or this industry in the long term? You heard Subhash say that this is the best business, you know, whether times are bad or good, this business is here to stay. Guys, what about you? Earlier, I said as a manager, they always see the now. Sales, they don't see expansion. So when they want to recruit, because they see it, then they stop, they give up, they go back to now. Bottom line, sales, because the manager part of them stand up, the leadership part of it is weak. Guys, sustainability, one thing is about long term, so that you will not compromise the ability of future generation. Then the next thing about need is best practices. Today in our industry is sick. The way we conduct our business in recruitment or in sales many times is not as good as what we would like to be, them to be. So that's why when I started my own Gordon Hook consultancy, my vision is to bring the best practices of agency building to you, the agency leaders, so as to raise the standard of the industry. So what are best practices? Many, in terms of sales, in terms of recruitment, in terms of the way we run our agency. All these things are best practices. These are the needs of the current time. If we get it right, it has serious implication to the future generation, and that is sustainability. As you can see, many of whatever we are seeing around us is not sustainable. I started as an agent. I joined a very successful manager, and our team at that time was the top of the company. They are the best. But today, what happened to the agency? It just disintegrated. Unfortunately, why? Many are like this because it's not sustainable, because they don't consider all these points. Last but not least, it's about culture. Culture. When you look at Subhash sharing, the culture in Eminence is scary. It's like bulletproof, you know. You can't get in and people can't get out. It's so amazing. What is this culture? A culture of trust, a culture of care and concern, a culture of helping one another, a culture of championing each other to give their best. Guys, this is the culture, but unfortunately, many of our industry is a very self-centered culture. They only look out for themselves. It's always about money. It's always about awards, incentive. Those are good things, but those are not the best practices. There are more to it. So I bring to you simply leadership, sustainability. Hopefully, from this perspective, we can have a better understanding of what we want to learn today about leadership sustainability. Now, I want to put it this way again from another angle of looking at it. This is recruitment, this is retention, and this is production. And right, flanking both of these, as I mentioned again, is management and leadership pillar. When you see these three circles come together, right in the center is this sustainable solution. So we want to share as we move on. What do you mean by sustainable solution? That this solution meet the current generation, the needs of current generation, and yet it will not compromise the future generation. And for the future generation, because we did it right this time, future generation can continue to pass on to the future generation. Because why? It is transferable, duplicable, scalable, and in the end, is profitable. This put together, it is called sustainability. So when we come to this, I'm going to bring to you the next speaker who will be talking to us about leadership and agency excellence. To bring up this point about sustainable solution, I want to introduce to you our next speaker, Adeline Yap. She will be the one coming to share with you on the next topic on impossible leadership, and her topic is leadership and agency excellence. Now, this is very interesting because Subhash talked about 10 years. Do you know Adeline is going to share with you about her 10 years too? Interesting. Subhash is from Prudential Singapore. Adeline is from AIA Malaysia. She will also share with you about her 10 years journey, about how she built her agency to where it is today. Now, before I introduce Adeline, I want to show you, this is her 10 years result. I asked her to show me. I said, Adeline, show me your 10-year result. So I want to give you a little bit of history about Adeline, how I know her. Adeline joined me in my coaching class in 2010. In 2010, she came to join me in my coaching class, and we are talking today. As we are talking today, it's already 13 years, and she's still in my class. And I said, Adeline, 13 years ago, I know you, and now a lot of things happen. Just go and work out your production in the last 10 years so that we can show the class. We can tell them your story. And this is the production. In 2012, Adeline, her whole agency production is only ringgit Malaysia 213,000. And 1 year later, it's 356,000. 2014 is 516,000. Guys, take a look. Following me in my coaching for 3 years, it has 100% growth. But that's not good enough, because her goal in agency building is to be a $1 million agency. $1 million agency. And you notice by 2016, she hit her first $1.1 million agency. Now, to Adeline, when she started with me way back in 2010, is something that she never imagined she could ever achieve, because it's just, to her, it's just not possible. Look at her production. It's a production of one producer is already more than her whole agency production. But as you can see, last year in 2022, she did 1.2. That means what I say is that since 2016, she has been a $1 million agency and is still growing. Now, that is what I mean by sustainability. She will never go back to below a $1 million agency from now onwards. So this is Adeline. Her goal, her motto in life is to focus on searching for talent. That's her. Because this is a leader of her talking, seeing things. She may be running agency with all the management responsibility, but her leadership part of it is always searching for talent. And when she finds a person, she will go all out to unleash that person's potential in her agency. So she took out some photograph for me to show all of you. You know, this is a 10 years ago picture, 2013, and this is Adeline sitting down there. And then just to put the class, to have everybody to look at it, look at the difference. We are now having a Zoom meeting, coaching, and 2013, what a difference. What a 10 years journey. And these are her awards. My goodness. As she did especially well, like Subhash said, during the lockdown, things get better during the lockdown. Even during lockdown, she also get better in her sales and in her achievement. And this is her current agency. And you look at agency, very much like Emanons, they're starting off. And again, you notice they are all millennials. Amazing. The person beside her is her husband. So together, they run a young agency. Now, during the lockdown, many of you already know I wrote a book. And if you notice in my book, I featured some people who talked about my book. Okay, so Adeline is one of those that I feature in my book, as you can see here. Right, so if many of you who don't know my book, please go to read and read Adeline's story. She said that I can always find new perspective and learning points in each truth, because my book is talking about 8 hard truths. Later, Adeline will talk a lot about that. This is how relevant and powerful they are. I have shed many tears in the recruitment journey, but I found comfort and answers in the book. My biggest gain through Gordon's coaching and program is not about the accolades I received in my career, but the growth in me from a person with low self-esteem to a confident and capable leader. To Adeline, following me all these years is not about her making more money or become more successful as a manager, but it's more about making her a better wife, a better mother, a better daughter. That to me is greater than anything else. All right, so likewise, this is to show you her family, a beautiful family. And so therefore, I'm proud to invite right now to come on screen, Adeline. Hi, Adeline.
Hi, Sufu Gordon. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Sufu, the way you introduced me, I'm really touched because you're not only my career coach, you are also my life coach as well. So thank you for the invitation. It's my honor to share in Ample 2023 Forum. Before I start, I would like everyone to know that I am Chinese educated. So which means I speak Chinese better than English. Please pardon me if you see me struggling to express myself. Yeah, having said all this, I will do my best to share as clearly as possible about impossible leadership agency excellence with you all. So back to you, Sufu.
Okay, guys, again, I want to say to all of you that when I asked Adeline to be my Ample Forum speaker, the first thing she told me is, Sifu, this is the English forum, I'm Chinese speaking. So Adeline has always been a Chinese speaking manager, and suddenly today she needs to speak English. So as she continued in this whole forum, she took up the challenge that today she will deliver in English. So guys, please pay no attention to the grammar, the full stop, the whatever. It's just her way of expression, but important, pay attention to what she has to share. Her essence is more important than her command of the English language. But for her, being a Chinese educated, to take up this challenge to speak in English to all of us, I think it is already a big breakthrough for her, and it's for all of us. So I hope we can encourage her and say, 加油, Adeline, don't worry about your English. We just want to hear what you have to say from your heart to us in this 10 years journey. All right, so let's begin, Adeline. So guys, this whole session is going to be an interview session. Instead of Adeline speak 1 hour, I want to interview her, okay? Interview her so that all of you, Adeline, 你看，下面很多人叫你加油哦. Many people ask you to 加油, so we just relax, okay? Adeline, speak the kind of English that you speak.
Okay.
I think all of us in the region can appreciate and understand you. But in the event your English got difficulty, you may want to speak some Chinese, I can still translate for you, okay? So let's make it relaxed and casual, so we don't stress Adeline, okay? So so it's going to be me interviewing her about this whole 10-year journey. All right, guys. So this is how we are going to go about. So first question for you, Adeline. Maybe why don't you tell the class, how did you end up becoming an insurance agent?
Gordon, I joined the insurance career in December 2000 due to some family issue that require a significant amount of medical expenses. This led me to understand the importance of insurance. For there, I become interested to know more about the business. That is how I joined the insurance career.
Okay, so in the year 2000, something happened in your family that requires a significant sum of money, and because of insurance, it sort of tied you through that crisis, and that's why you get to join, understand the benefit of and you join. Wow, that's the beauty of our insurance, right? Good. Then the second question. then when and why do you want to become a manager? I mean, why do you, from a manager, from an agent, you want to build agency? Why?
Sufu, I think my answer you will shock because after being an agent for a while, I noticed many of the people around me just got promoted as become manager. I'm thought that there is the way to go, so I just follow the crowd, and I also got promoted as a manager. So you see, then yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
After I become a manager, Sufu, before I follow
So
you.
you are manager, you are agent. Then you see that in your company, you look to the left, to the right, many agents just become manager. So you thought, oh,
Yes.
so that's basically insurance career law. So you blur, also become manager. Oh, okay.
Yes.
So I
Yes,
hope the
this
class
is
can
me.
understand. Adeline said basically she didn't think much think that it's like that. But I want to assure you, Adeline, in this class right now, we have about 200 over people. Many people are like you, okay? They also blur become manager. That's why they are here. So I think they are now listening because they are also like you, blur. So they want to hear
Yeah.
from blur, how come to where you are? Wow, interesting. Continue.
Okay. Even bro. Then after that, I follow you about this past 13 years is no blur again. Okay. Yeah. But then, after I become a manager, I realize it's not easy at all. Definitely. So being a manager was mentally, emotionally demanding and physically exhausting. I encounter so many challenges with agents and their performance issue. So much so that I almost want to give up, Gordon. I thought I have given my best, but at the end, most of my agents left me. And there was only one agent left. This is made me feel hopeless, helpless, and discouraged. So sorry.
It's okay, Adeline. Wow, you can feel that Adeline must have gone through a lot. Every time when we talk about this, every time, not a single time she will not talk about this. She will not get really work out because the journey indeed must be really painful. And I want to tell you guys, for 30 years I know her, she had a painful journey in building agency to where it is today. Right, continue. So Adeline basically saying that she has gone through a lot until so she given, in her opinion, she has given a lot. But yet, at the end, she only left with one by one left her. She left with one agent. My goodness.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so emotionally. So actually, when I feel hopeless, helpless, and discouraged at the time, it was just simply an impossible leadership, Sifu, as far as Adeline Yap is concerned. But thank God, it heard my cry for help. One day, a top manager in my company approached me and asked me if I am interested to learn about agency building, and he invited me to attend a preview session. That was my first meeting with Sifu, Gordon Hu. So during the preview section, I was really impressed by what Gordon shared. So I'm glad that I didn't give up. I gave myself one last chance to build my agency, even though I was left with one agent. Since the day, my understanding of agency building opened up. So I have no regret since.
Wow. No regrets since. I like
sorry.
that. You see what, when Adeline shared this, right, I can feel her a lot because I remember back then in 2010, she came for the preview. Yeah, I noticed her and Chinese speaking and asked questions. But then I noticed she said she got no money because she only got one agent left. And she has just gone through some family financial crisis. But you notice what I said about a leader part of her. The leader part of her did not see money as a problem, even though she really has no money. Guys, that part of the leader part will say that I will give myself a last chance. So I like what you're saying. No regrets. Wow, what I like that word. But then you say that since you joined me on that day, your understanding of agency building opened up. Would you like to share with the class? What do you mean by your understanding of agency building open up?
Yeah, I think just now most of the class can feel me. because I start not knowing how to recruit, but today I know the whole recruitment system, from the starting point of finding leads to conducting a professional interview, to doing a professional career seminar, and many other doors of engagement. The 3 E's that you taught us all the way till the candidate become a full-time agent. I never knew all this before. After recruiting a person, retention is next. In the past, my retention is purely about motivation and incentive, but it didn't work. So I mean, now I learned that team recruitment must have a system. So it's retention. Retention must have a system. Sales recruiter is one system, and retention is another system. Then to keep an agent, they must have sales. Then the sales is another system. So it took me 13 years to learn all this. I'm so thankful this system are all running in my agency today. I can safely say that even I'm not around, my people can run the system now with or without me. So what started as an impossible leadership to me is today made possible because of all this system. That to me is leadership sustainability.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, guys, so far
this is my answer.
Italy English not bad, huh? Well, not bad. I want to applaud you, okay? I hope the rest of you can catch what she's saying. When I asked her this question, what is your understanding of agency building since she followed me? To her, before she joined me, agency building is all about motivation, incentive. That's all, because that's what everybody is doing. But since she followed me in the last 13 years, she learned recruiting system, retention system, and sales system. Remember, just now earlier I said, sustainability is depleted by 3 interconnected pillars. Okay, so these are the 3 things that key I shared with them, I taught them, and she diligently put it into action and practice and execution. And today, this is where she is. Adeline talked about the 3 E's. It is mentioned in my book in Hard Truth 7. The 3 E's is basically means encounter, engagement, and experiences. So if you keep hearing the word 3 E's, basically it means these 3 words: encounter, engagement, and experiences. All right. Now, Adeline, since you talk about the 3 system, you made the class so curious now, okay? Would you mind sharing with the class about this recruiting system, this retention system, this sales system? I think I let you take your time to share with the class about these interconnected pillars, okay? All yours. Take it with you.
Of course, Super Gordon, because I learned all this system from you. But talking about the system, I need to screen share.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, ready. So, okay. My topic is leadership and agency excellence. Yeah, then next slide. Okay. Yeah, these are the, just continue what just now Sifu say. These are the 5 pillars in agency building. Yeah, they are management, recruitment, retention, production, and leadership. You will notice recruitment, retention, production pillar are right in the center, and they are supported by the management and leadership pillar at both sides. I had learned in the past 13 years how to put the 3 center pillars, just as Sifu mentioned, or into a system that is can duplicate and transferable. Yeah, let me start the recruitment pillar. This is how my process look like. Okay, yeah. So in your book, Hard Truth 7, okay, he talked about create a dot of encounter, engagement, and experience. Just like we mentioned about a lot of 3 E's. That's what we do. So our recruitment process is basically about connecting this dot. You will see in the slide, we get our agent to do these 3 dots every day. First, AGA conversation. AGA conversation stands for agent get agent conversation. Second is a career survey. Third is a personality test. So I just give some example. The agent or the agent get agent conversation is a process when our agent will sell and recruit at the same time. This is taught in Hard Truth 3 of Gordon's books. Yeah. Second, It's a simple career survey form where our financial consultant use this as opener to engage with their prospect or clients. And the third personality test, we use it to attract by the candidate who is interested to know more their personality profile. So the purpose of doing these 3 simple dots is lead the candidate to meet up with the leader, with me, means that me, or my experienced agent, my second liner. So, okay, in the second column, our 3 is continue. Outdoor activity, career seminar, and coffee talk. Basically, outdoor activity, these are the activity allow potential candidate or even some of our clients to come and have a fun with us. The purpose is not only just to get to know the people in our team and get to know what we do and what is our culture. Then second is the RWO. Okay, Gordon taught us how to present a career seminar that is current and relevant to the market. It's unlike those that was conducted by the others. And he called this career seminar RWO, means rethinking work, understanding opportunities. It gives agent confidence to invite their friend, client to attend because the message is insightful. RWO will seriously make people think about their work and life after attending. So the coffee talk is about the catching up with the candidates who want to explore more with us.
Saya mau kamu
So that
dengerin ini
outdoor
ya, setelah
activity or
selesai nih rekamannya
RWO.
kamu dengerin.
So
kita semua
for
yang
the
ada di
third
grup
part,
itu tuh
okay,
kayak Rafifar
yeah.
dengerin ini.
So you can see all these
Ini,
9
ditransfer
boxes
nanti.
in Chinese. I always mention that this is a 9宫格, okay? Yeah. For the third part, if the candidate.
Yang ketiga, ya, itu adalah bagaimana menjawab 10 pertanyaan, ya, induction, ya, attach and train, ya, memikatkan, mendekatkan, kemudian melatih, ya, dan kita minta kandidat-kandidat untuk mencari tahu lebih lanjut gitu loh. Dan kalau mereka tidak tertarik juga, mereka masih tertarik juga, ya, sesudah 10 pertanyaan, kita akan minta mereka datang untuk mengikuti namanya induction. Ya, dia tertarik, dia pengen tahu lebih lanjut lagi gitu loh. Sesudah induction, kita undang mereka ya mengikuti program attach dan train. Ya, attach itu lengket ya, dan kemudian dilatih attach dan train. Ya, dan banyak dari mereka ya, bagaimana itu mungkin gitu loh. Anda mencari orang-orang untuk mengikuti semuanya ini. Mungkin loh, karena kita punya 3 dalam satu sistem. Apa 3 dalam satu sistem ini? Ya, ini juga belajar dari Pak Gordon ya. Ya, 1 hari 1 perkutan, pembicaraan perkutan, 1 minggu 1 hari perkutan, 1 bulan 1 event dalam 1 bulan ya. Jadi kalau Anda lihat di gambar ini, ya, 3E ini ya sangat penting ya. Dan ini adalah aktivitas di luar. Dan kalau kita mau merekrut millennials, mereka senang sekali bermain gitu ya. Kalau misalnya pertemuan di dalam kayaknya membosankan buat mereka gitu loh ya. Jadi
on-site dan sering on-site kan. Si Subas juga
ya, jadi saya ingin bagikan kepada Anda perhatian kalau Anda salah ya, coba lihat foto ini ya. Ya, di bulan Juli itu kita punya career seminar di Kuala Lumpur. Dan karena Pak Gordon datang, kita punya coaching program bersama dengan Pak Gordon. Yes, ini yang kita gabung dalam 13 tahun. Anda lihat FOFT itu adalah follow through ya. Yes, sebelum dan sesudah event itu kita melakukan banyak sekali namanya engagement, keikutsertaan gitu loh. Ya, dan untuk semua dots itu, yes, kita perbolehkan kandidat-kandidat untuk mengikuti seminar-seminar itu gitu loh. Dan semua aktivitas itu yang kita lakukan ya bukan hanya pada perkutan mereka saja gitu loh, tapi lebih kepada memberikan kepada mereka
kemampuan untuk bertemu, ya, kemudian mengikut sertakan, dan supaya mereka dapat mendapatkan pengalaman, experience. Dan cara ini adalah untuk bagaimana
Belum masuk
memikat
emailnya.
mereka, bukan mengejar mereka.
Apa?
Ya, seperti ada dalam
Iya, belum
bukunya
masuk,
Pak
Mas
Gordon
tadi
di
sudah bilang belum
perkutan.
masuk. Dia
Ya,
punya
bagaimana
itunya,
Anda
nggak
memikat
ketemu.
tapi tidak mengejar. Yes,
Enggak,
jadi
udah saya udah kasih lagi yang baru.
apapun yang BOP dari
Saya udah
perusahaan,
kasih lagi yang baru.
ya, kita tidak lakukan apa-apa sih. Kemudian sesudah BOP selesai, kita mulai telepon, you punya waktukah datang ke event kita? Ya, kita tahu bahwa itu tidak bekerja gitu. Jadi saya bersyukur sekarang ini dan sayangnya banyak sekali mereka yang melakukan perkutan dengan cara lama gitu. Jadi kalau saya mau menjalankan karya seminar, ya, bulan Juli 2023, ya, dengan target 20 sampai 30 peserta, saya punya 3 bulan 3E loh, 3 bulan. Tanpa waktu itu tidak mungkin saya dapat 30 orang itu. Jadi Rethinking Work Seminar itu jadi kita berikan semuanya gitu loh untuk membawa kandidat-kandidat supaya mereka tertarik untuk masuk kepada 10 pertanyaan induction, ya, dan itu dibutuhkan fokus, ya, dan penyelarasan dalam 3 bulan itu untuk mempersiapkan karya seminar ini. Ya, yang berikutnya, ya. Jadi kalau Anda lihat ini semua sistem, 10 pertanyaan perlu ditanya, dijawab, induction, test and train, study right, sistem penjualan, mentoring. Berapa lama? Berapa lama Anda belajar ini? Saya tidak tahu mengenai Anda, tapi saya butuh 13 tahun. Banyak yang mengikuti 2010, tapi ya banyak manajer lah ya mengikuti kelas 2010 bersama dengan saya, tapi setelah 1 tahun menyerah, bahkan ada yang setelah 5 tahun menyerah. Sayang sekali ya. Ya, dan hari ini agensi mereka masih sama gitu loh. Tapi sekarang agensi saya sudah melampaui mereka gitu loh. Dan saya percaya bahwa kalau saya melakukan hal yang sama dengan mereka, hasil yang saya dapatkan hari ini tidak akan sama gitu loh. Ya, dan saya bersyukur dan berterima kasih kepada Pak Gordon yang memberikan saya pengajaran dan pengertian dan melakukan ini, ya. So, okay. Yes, jadi yes, yang tadi yang saya katakan sebelumnya, ya, kita lakukan aktivitas di mana membawa orang kepada karya seminar. Karya seminar itu, ya, tujuannya adalah buat rekrut, tapi Pak Gordon berbagi. Itu betul. Jadi bagaimana bagus pun sebuah karya seminar itu tidak dapat merekrut seseorang. Jadi karya seminar itu harus sangat-sangat bagus supaya dia tertarik untuk mencari tahu lebih banyak lagi gitu loh. Ya, 3E ini, ya, pertemuan, engagement, bagaimana menciptakan pengalaman-pengalaman. Jadi sesudah karya seminar, apa yang berikutnya? Ada 10 pertanyaan perlu dijawab gitu loh. Sebelum dia memutuskan menjadi seorang konsultan keuangan. Itu menjadi program follow through kita gitu loh. Ya, ini adalah 10 pertanyaan. Dan kalau Anda perhatikan 10 pertanyaan ini adalah pertanyaan banyak kandidat akan bertanya kepada diri mereka. Ya, mereka berbicara kepada diri mereka. Apakah saya dapat melakukan pekerjaan ini gitu loh? Ya, apakah saya dapat melakukan pekerjaan ini? Ya, ya. Jadi ini adalah seminar karier dari, ya, ini membuka pikiran saya, ya, tapi di dalam diri mereka akan bertanya ini. Saya bukan tenaga penjual. Saya bisa jualan, tapi saya belum pernah jualan asuransi sebelumnya. Ya, jadi kalau Anda lihat 10 pertanyaan ini, menjawab pertanyaan inti ini tuh, apakah saya dapat melakukan pekerjaan ini gitu loh. Ya, ya, ini bisa 1 hari atau 3 minggu pertemuan. Ya, itu menjadi sesuatu yang sangat fleksibel. Ya, yang penting adalah mereka datang. Dan sesudah 10 pertanyaan ini, kalau mereka mengatakan, wow, ini membuka pikiran saya lagi. Saya mau bergabung. Ya, dan kemudian sebagai seorang manajer, ya, banyak dari kita sudah, senang banget. Ya, betul. Ya. Ya, tapi pengalaman-pengalaman kita akan bawa mereka lebih dekat. Masih sulit untuk mereka masuk ke dalam dan menjalankannya gitu ya. Jadi apa yang kita lakukan? Kita bawa mereka kepada engagement berikutnya gitu loh, ya, namanya induction. Jadi begitu banyak dots ya. Banyak dari Anda mulai melihat bintang-bintang gitu ya. Sesudah perkutan, karya seminar, 10 pertanyaan, yang berikutnya adalah induction. Dot yang berikutnya adalah induction. So ketika kita bicara tentang pentingnya harapan, apa sih yang diharapkan sih? Apa yang diekspektasikan gitu loh. Jadi bukan karena kita tidak punya jaminan untuk sukses gitu loh, ya. Dan butuhkan kualitas untuk bisa sukses. Saya meminta komitmen mereka untuk mengikuti program 3 bulan. Namanya Attest dan Train. Dan di dalam program Attest dan Train ini, kandidat juga belum loh menjadi konsultan keuangan kita gitu loh. Masih dalam masa mengeksplorasi, mencari tahu apa sih syaratnya, dan ini adalah proses kita mempersiapkan mereka, bagaimana mereka mengalami, mereka belajar, mereka bikin PR, diskusi, melakukan namanya engagement dan mengalami, dan yang paling penting adalah mereka mengambil action-nya gitu loh, ya. Dan ini menjadi sales proses yang sukses. Dan sesudah 3 bulan, mereka harus mengambil keputusan apakah mereka masuk sebagai staff, flexi staff atau full time. Dan dalam 3 bulan itu, saya berikan jaminan kepada kandidat di dalam industri kita banyak sekali keahlian-keahlian yang soft skill ya. Anda tidak dapat pelajari di luar sana. Tapi di dalam 3 bulan ini Anda sudah meningkatkan daya saing Anda gitu loh, ya. Dan ini menjadi nilai yang Anda tidak dapat dapatkan di luar sana. Ini menjadi jaminan saya, ya, ketika mereka mengikuti attest dan train saya, ya.
Oke. Tuh harap kita udah ada info tentang Go
jadi
itu, jadi dia bisa cari tahu di mananya gitu.
Yes, ini adalah follow through sistem yang dijalankan. Ini adalah apa yang dibagikan oleh Pak Gordon tadi, 5 pilar ya. Jadi kalau Anda lihat di sini ya, dari gambar, semua sistem-sistem ini ada gear-gearnya, mereka saling berhubungan satu sama lain ya. Management, perkutan, retention, production, produksi ya, dan kepemimpinan. Dan ketika mereka bergerak, mereka akan bergerak bersama-sama gitu loh. Tidak sendiri-sendiri, tapi bersama-sama. Jadi 5 pilar ini bergerak bersama-sama. Dan jadi apa yang membuatnya berjalan dengan mulus? Apa yang dibutuhkan? Membangun sistem tidak mudah. Untuk menghubungkan 5 pilar ini, bagaimana gear-gearnya itu bergerak bersama-sama, apa yang tertinggal? Anda butuhkan namanya minyak pelumas. Minyak pelumas, mesin mobil ya. Setiap 10.000 mobil Anda pakai, Anda kirim ke bengkel untuk mengganti minyak pelumasnya gitu loh, supaya mobilnya dapat berjalan dengan mulus, dengan lancar. Apakah minyak pelumas itu dari agensi? Pelatihan seperti apa yang dibutuhkan gitu? Saya bersyukur minyak pelumas ini adalah program dari Pak Gordon yang namanya Morphosis Camp. Dan karena bisnis kita mengenai manusia, Morphosis itu adalah satu-satunya program yang dapat menghubungkan orang-orang kita dan berjalan bersama-sama. Dan ketika mereka dapat berhubungan satu sama lain, itulah yang menumbuhkan sebuah budaya. Program apa di luar sana yang Anda dapat temukan di luar sana yang dapat melatih tentang budaya, dapat hubungkan budaya dan menjadikan orang-orang bersatu, hanya satu, Morphosis. Dan saya sangat diberkati dalam program ini. Jadi yang berikutnya, saya ingin juga berbagi beberapa foto buat Anda semuanya tentang Morphosis Camp. Untuk diri saya sudah mengikuti lebih dari 20 kali. Agent saya, mereka panggil agent senior, paling tidak mereka mengikuti morphosis camp, ya, 6 kali, 10 kali, ya. Eja-eja yang baru itu adalah sebuah program yang harus mereka ikuti. Jadi bahkan kita pergi ke Taiwan untuk mengikuti morphosis camp. Jadi morphosis camp adalah kunci strategi buat saya dan orang-orang saya untuk mencapai visi dan goal, dan untuk menyelaraskan supaya kita bisa berjalan bersama-sama. Jadi visi kami dan goal kami, kita selalu bicara di dalam. Yes, apa itu? Saya harus tanyakan kembali. Ya, mempunyai mimpi 100 orang bukanlah sebuah mimpi. Dan jadi saya bicara kepada tim saya, well, mulai kecil, bermimpi besar, mulai kecil. Ya, jadi yang menjadi kesimpulan saya hari ini sampai hari ini, ya, masih fokus di dalam pilar produksi. Bagaimana dengan yang lainnya gitu? Manajemen, perekrutan, ya, mempertahankan dan kepemimpinan. Yang lainnya tidak berjalan dengan baik karena tidak ada minyaknya untuk menghubungkan orang-orang itu menuju kepada produksi. Dan itu tidak dapat dipertahankan, ya, itu menjadi kepemimpinan yang mustahil. Dan itulah yang saya mau bagikan, Pak Gordon. Semoga saya tidak berjalan terlalu cepat ya. Oke, saya akan kembalikan kepada Pak Gordon masuk ke dalam tanya jawab kita. Oke, luar biasa ya. Dalam 30 menit dibagikan 13 tahun perjalanan ya. Begitu dalamnya. Dan ketika dibagikan, begitu terharunya Pak Gordon karena apa yang diajarkan itu dijalankan. Tapi buat Anda yang ada dalam grup ini, ketika Anda dengar bagaimana ini, semoga Anda mendapatkan hal-hal bagus. Tapi saya ingin tanyakan di dalam slide Anda, ketika kamu bicara tentang retention, mempertahankan, di sana ada perekrutan, ada penjualan. Dan ketika ngomong tentang penjualan, ada. Ketika ngomong tentang perekrutan, di sana ada sepertinya 3 pilar tengah-tengah itu, ya. Kenapa seperti itu? Kalau Anda ngomong tentang retention, kenapa 2 itu ada gitu loh? Kenapa 3 pilar itu saling berhubungan gitu? Bolehkah Anda jelaskan? Ya, itu adalah pertanyaan yang sangat bagus. Karena di dalam bukunya Pak Gordon, Anda mengajarkan penjualan adalah tanggung jawab pribadi Anda. Tapi perekrutan adalah tanggung jawab semua orang. Jadi ketika saya merekrut satu agen, saya menanamkan bahwa perekrutan itu harus ditaruh dalam hati dia. Karena perekrutan menjadi tanggung jawab semua orang. Itulah sebabnya perekrutan itu menjadi selalu ada di sana gitu loh. Apakah itu mempertahankan produksi, perekrutan selalu ada di sana. Karena itu melibatkan semua orang. Karena itu harus ada dalam pola pikir semua orang. Seperti yang Anda katakan dalam buku Anda, membuat perekrutan menjadi pikiran dominan Anda. Kalau Anda dapat menjual, Anda dapat merekrut. Itu semua ada dalam buku. Ya, jadi buku Anda sangat berharga, Pak Gordon. Dan itu mengingatkan saya belajar dan belajar dan belajar dan pelajari lagi. Dan ketika saya bingung, buku Anda menjadi petunjuk buat saya gitu. Yes, buat Anda, banyaknya orang ketika membeli buku saya baca sekali selesai gitu. Tapi Anda mengambil buku itu sebagai buku manual gitu. Dan selalu kembali dari semua orang yang saya kenal, hanya satu agensi hanya ada satu agensi yang mengambil buku saya dan juga menjadi SOP dan adalah Eminence, agensi Eminence. Dan itulah sebabnya saya berterima kasih kepada Ken dan Subas yang percaya dengan apa yang saya tuliskan gitu loh. Dan kita bisa setuju dalam banyak hal. Mereka memakai buku saya dan untuk manajemennya dan leader mereka. Satu hal lagi, Adeline, sebelum kita masuk ke dalam tanya jawab, Saya terkesima dan saya bersyukur, berterima kasih apa yang kamu bagikan dalam apa yang kamu jalankan, pelajari selama 13 tahun. Adakah kata-kata yang Anda ingin bagikan kepada para audiens sebelum kita masuk ke Q&A? Sebenarnya saya ingin mengatakan pengembang agensi tidaklah mudah, sangatlah kompleks. Dan itu bukan kayak jalan-jalan di tengah taman gitu ya. Kalau Anda tidak tahu bagaimana cara melakukannya, Anda butuh bantuan. Anda tidak dapat lakukan sendirian gitu loh. Dan ketika saya sendiri waktu itu saya hanya tinggal satu agent. Dan tahun 2010 adalah sangat tidak mungkin gitu loh. Kemungkinan yang mustahil. Dan hari ini dia tanya, bagaimana itu mungkin? Itu mungkin ketika Anda memberikan waktu dan usaha untuk belajar tentang pengembangan agensi, tentang leadership dan management, dan terus kejar program-program. Dan buat saya hanya fokus kepada satu orang yang bisa membantu Anda. Dan terus ikuti dia sampai Anda melihat hasilnya. Seperti saya, 13 tahun lalu ketika saya bertemu dengan Pak Gordon, dia adalah orangnya yang saya mau ikuti. Dan saya berhenti mengikuti program-program yang lainnya. Karena itu sesuatu yang harus saya pelajari dari Pak Gordon. Dan itu saja dari saya. Ini adalah saya, Sifu. Jawaban saya. Yes. Jadi apa yang dikatakan oleh Adeline dalam kata-katanya, dari hatinya, sampai dan hari ini industri kita banyak waktu orang-orang mengejar program-program, apakah itu perusahaan ataupun di industri ya. Tapi buat manajer Anda sendiri, yang mana yang Anda mau pelajari kalau Anda tidak kembangkan diri Anda, mengembangkan kepemimpinan Anda sampai satu titik, satu level. 13 tahun lalu orang mengatakan, nggak mungkin lah Adeline. Lihatlah dirimu lah Adeline. Orang bilang, semua orang bisa, kamu tidak lah. Tapi hari ini mereka bertanya, Adeline kok bisa gitu ya? Kok bisa? Jadi dalam 13 tahun saya bisa lihat, manajer dia mulai pelan-pelan hilang, dan leader dia mulai bertumbuh, berkembang. Tapi masih ada ya manajernya. Alright, Elaine, saya akan kembalikan kepada kamu kalau ada tanya jawab. Halo semuanya, terima kasih banyak Adeline dan Gordon. Dan saya di backstage ya. Saya mendengarkan, sepertinya saya mendengarkan pengajaran dari Pak Gordon ya. Karena seperti, jadi Anda mendapatkan pelajaran gratis dari Pak Gordon ya secara pribadi melalui Ibu Adeline. Jadi banyak sekali pertanyaan buat Anda. Mari kita masuk. Saya mau mulai dari Adeline dulu. Pertanyaan yang saya mau tanyakan kepada Anda, bagaimana para kandidat Anda bisa mengikuti program Anda dengan begitu sabarnya gitu? Di dalam sharing saya 3E itu, kalau Anda ingat 3E itu mengenai encounter, engagement, experience, dan mengikuti dot demi dot. Kalau mereka mengalami, itu adalah pengalaman mereka gitu. Di setiap dot itu adalah positif. Dan kalau misalkan engagement mereka itu negatif, mereka tidak akan lanjutkan. Jadi Ibu Adeline itu bekerja sangat keras supaya setiap dot pengalaman yang dialami oleh kandidat itu adalah positif. Sehingga mereka mau melanjutkan ke dot berikutnya. Dari rethinking work, lanjut kepada 10 pertanyaan, lanjut kepada induction. Jadi banyak orang jadi apapun yang Adeline tadi bagikan, banyak sekali orang mengikuti program yang sama. Contoh, seminar rethinking work banyak orang pelajari, tapi banyak orang stop untuk memakainya gitu. Karena ketika mereka memakai, mereka tidak melihat hasilnya gitu. Mereka stop sana. Yang lain nggak usah diomongin lah. Dan kemudian mereka melanjutkan ke yang lain. Bagian manajer mereka bekerja, bukan bagian pemimpin itu, leadership itu. Jadi ketika mengerti tentang namanya pertemuan, perjumpaan, apa apa lanjutannya gitu loh, engagementnya seperti apa, keikutsertaannya seperti apa, supaya dapat menciptakan namanya pengalaman positif. Ya, tapi bagian manajer itu yang mengatur eventnya gitu loh, ya. Dan kemudian mereka melakukannya gitu, dan kemudian mereka berhenti. Jadi ini yang dikatakan oleh Adeline, dia bekerja sangat keras. Jadi apa yang terjadi adalah Adeline tidak serta-merta mengambil kemudian melakukan, tapi dia juga bertanya why, kenapa, bagaimana. Jadi ini adalah bagian pemimpinnya, leadernya yang bicara gitu loh. Jadi saya harus beritahu kepada dia bahwa saya perlu kembangkan, dia perlu kembangkan bagian leadernya itu. Dan ketika dia belajar bagaimana, dia belajar prinsip-prinsipnya, dia berinovasi dan caranya. Dan itu menjadi dia melakukannya gitu loh. Ya. Jadi banyak yang hanya mengikuti, ya tidak bertanya, ya cuma tanya apa, kapan, ya hal-hal tidak terjadi, ya mereka menyerah. Tapi ketika mendengar cerita seperti ini, saya ingin Anda mendengar ulang kembali. Ini adalah bagaimana kepemimpinan yang dapat berlangsung terus. Ya, manajemen tidak akan membuat sesuatu yang berlangsung, berkelanjutan. Ya, jadi bolehkan saya juga untuk menambahkan Pak Gordon. Jadi 10 tahun ini menjadi sangat menyakitkan, ya, pain, menyakitkan dalam menjalankan sistem itu. Ya, dia punya satu manajer. Kalau saya bisa, ya, ambil ini ya. Ember ya, itu berember-ember air matanya Adeline gitu loh.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Always tell his student that there should be blood, sweat, and tears.
Ya, jadi Pak Gordon selalu ngomong ya bahwa itu ada keringat, ada darah, ada air mata gitu ya. Iya, itu dia. Ya. Terima kasih Adeline. Ya, saya akan berikan pertanyaan itu kepada Adeline. Kalau misalkan, yes, kalau ada yang mau tambahkan silakan tambahkan ya. So Adeline, pertanyaannya di dalam program ANT itu 3 bulan lamanya gitu loh. Dan kandidat-kandidat itu mau mengikuti, apakah ada dari mereka itu menyerah gitu ya, berhenti di tengah jalan? Ya, artinya bahwa ya mereka ikut kandidat itu tapi tidak menyelesaikan ya 3 bulan programnya. Jadi kalau misalkan si kandidat itu tengah jalan itu berhenti di dalam program saya, apakah itu adalah hal yang baik? Itu bagus kan? Artinya bahwa dia bukan kandidat yang tepat yang saya cari. Buat saya program attach and train itu adalah proses seleksi saya gitu loh. Jadi sebelum saya memulai program itu, ya di dalam saya meminta komitmen mereka dari kandidat-kandidat. Saya ya bangun fondasinya, kebiasaan-kebiasaan apa yang akan mereka alami, ya, dan kemudian proses apa yang akan mereka lalui. Ya, dan itu menjadi 5A ya, 5A ya, bagaimana melakukan namanya adaptasi, penyesuaian, ya, melakukan namanya penyelarasan, ya, action, dan yang paling menerima ya penyesuaian itu ya bagaimana dia menyesuaikan tentang dalam 3 bulan itu, ya, bagaimana dia menyesuaikan, adjust, dengan gaya hidup dia, mungkin waktunya, mungkin stresnya, mungkin sikap-sikapnya, mereka perlu melakukan namanya penyesuaian. Yang berikutnya adalah adaptasi, bagaimana mereka beradaptasi kepada lingkungan baru gitu loh. Kita ada dalam dunia entrepreneur, wirausaha. Mereka perlu tahu budaya, kesempatan yang baru, kesempatan bekerja dengan yang lain, dan bagaimana mereka menyelaraskan, apa yang mereka mau selaraskan. Mereka punya goal yang baru, ekspektasi, dan mereka perlu punya pola pikir, mentalitas untuk sukses, dan action, tindakan, dan kalau tidak ada action, tidak ada yang berhenti gitu loh, Jadi actionnya apa? Menelpon, bertemu, role play, belajar ulang lagi, dan seterusnya. Tapi hal yang paling penting adalah terakhir adalah accept, menerima. Kalau mereka tidak menerima, mereka tidak akan dapat menyesuaikan, beradaptasi, menyelaraskan, ataupun melakukan action gitu. Ya, artinya bahwa mereka tidak dapat bertumbuh dan dapat berkembang dalam industri ini. Ya, itu ya. Semoga itu menjadi jawaban ya. Wah, luar biasa ya. Jawabannya luar biasa. Ya, jadi benar-benar Adeline itu buat saya nggak tahu apakah Anda menerima 5A itu. Itu sangatlah penting gitu loh. Jadi 5A itu dalam perkutaan Anda kepada kandidat gitu loh, kepada kandidat. 5A itu menjadi proses seleksi yang Anda boleh pakai gitu. Ya. Ya, jadi sangat menarik ketika dia mundur di tengah jalan. Itu adalah sesuatu yang karena industri asuransi itu berjuang untuk melakukan perkutan karena mereka pegang kandidat itu, mereka tidak mau melepaskan gitu loh. Jadi itu dibutuhkan banyak pengalaman ya untuk melaluinya. Oke. Sebelum saya ajak Subas untuk masuk panel tanya jawab. Tadi Adeline berbagi bagaimana Anda memikat bukan mengejar. Bagaimana caranya gitu loh? Bagaimana cara memikat dan tidak mengejar kandidat-kandidat? Ya, jadi perbolehkan saya bagikan pembicaraan rekrutmen ya. Banyak orang berpikir bahwa kita di sini datang untuk merekrut mereka, dan begitu mereka mendengarkan latar belakang kita, asuransi. Asuransi bukanlah pekerjaan terbaik. Dan tiba-tiba, langsung matanya jadi melalak gitu ya, membesar melihatin saya gitu loh. Karena di dunia ini, pekerjaan kita sangat bagus gitu. Dan ketika saya mulai bicara, asuransi bukanlah pekerjaan terbaik. Tapi itu yang terbaik buat saya. Itu adalah pekerjaan terbaik buat saya. Saya tidak tahu mengenai Anda. Ya, mari kita cari tahu pekerjaan ideal Anda apa sih? Anda tahu, Elaine, ketika saya engage dengan mereka, saya sudah mulai masuk ke dalam pembicaraan rekrutmen. Dan contoh-contoh lainnya yang saya bisa berikan adalah saya berikan contoh hidup saya ya, datang kandidat saya kepada saya. Dan dia bilang, saya sudah siap. Dan dia mengatakan, saya sudah siap. Saya akan pergi ambil ujian. Saya ambil sertifikasi. Saya akan mulai segera. Dan kemudian saya katakan kepada dia, Anda belum siap. Saya sudah siap. Saya sudah siap untuk menandatangani kontrak. Dan saya mengatakan kepada dia, Anda belum siap. Anda perlu mengikuti proses saya. Dan itu sangatlah penting. Dan muka dia, begitu kagetnya gitu ya. Dan dia bingung gitu loh. Dan hari ini, dan kurang lebih 1 tahun, dia sudah capai, jadi dia sudah mencapai convention trip buat agent baru gitu. Itu adalah cerita nyata saya gitu ya, dari tim saya.
Again, as I hear Adeline, I'm very proud to say that.
Sembari mendengar Adeline ya, saya begitu bangga. Dia sudah bukan lagi manajer gitu ya. Saya mau join. Wah, semua manajer, wah bagus, saya ambil ya. Isi aplikasi, ikut sertifikasi, ujian. Tapi Adeline salah satu murid saya yang belajar sesuatu. Orang mau, Anda mau langsung ambil, itu bukan namanya memikat, itu mengejar. Orang mau, Anda perlu sangat hati-hati gitu. Anda perlu tahu bahwa karir kita kebanyakan waktu orang tidak mau, dan tiba-tiba ada orang mau. Anda perlu masuk lebih dalam gitu loh. Jadi proses induction-nya. Yuk kita masuk kepada proses induction-nya gitu. Itu adalah saya beritahu apa yang saya harapkan kamu lakukan. Yuk beritahu saya harapan kamu apa. Dan kalau kamu masih jelas dengan apa yang saya harapkan, oke, silakan. Kita boleh lanjutkan. Jadi sesi itu adalah untuk tanda kutip menakuti dia gitu. Wah, supaya nanti dalam perjalanan dia tidak ngomong, oh saya tidak tahu kayak gini loh. Jadi setelah mendengar dengan dalam pengertian ini, saya pikir saya masih mau dan dia masuk. Jadi kesempatan untuk orang ini pergi meninggalkan itu kecil. Masih ada ya, tapi lebih kecil gitu loh. Dan itu yang namanya, itulah sebabnya induction itu masuk dalam pilar retention. Jadi sebelum saya ingin mengundang Subas online supaya kita bisa banyak sekali pertanyaan-pertanyaan dari para hadirin ya. Hai Subas. Yes, halo. Pertanyaan berikutnya adalah buat semuanya ya. Silakan ya. Apa yang menjadi pemikiran Anda gitu. Kemudian kita masuk ke dalam proses seleksi dan saya pikir ini banyak sekali apa yang menjadi orang ini. Apakah ada tanda-tanda orang-orang di depan Anda? Apakah tanda-tanda seseorang itu di depan Anda itu adalah agen yang berkualitas? Sepertinya ini Subas bisa jawab ya. Oke, dari pengalaman saya ini menjadi tantangan karena saya melihat orang introvert masuk ke industri ini dan bagus sekali hasilnya, orang extrovert masuk dan bagus sekali hasilnya. Jadi apa yang terlihat di luar yang dalam hidup mereka, pengalaman mereka, bagaimana mereka dibesarkan, belum kelihatan sampai dengan 6 bulan dia dalam karirnya. Yang tentunya Anda tidak dapat langsung nyaman ya dengan orang-orang. Well, kita bisa langsung melepaskan orang-orang yang kita tidak nyaman ya dengannya. Tapi pemikiran saya adalah pekerjaan kita adalah memberikan kesempatan kepada sebanyak orang. Kesempatan adalah sama, tapi kita berikan kesempatan kepada mereka yang mau melakukan, belajar, itu kesempatan diberikan. Tapi hasilnya akan butuh waktu gitu ya. Jadi itu yang kita jalankan ya. Jadi sangat cepat untuk kita mengambil kesimpulan gitu loh langsung. Jadi butuh waktu 6 bulan ya. 6 bulan 1 tahun lah. Bisa kelihatan lah ya. 6 bulan. Yes, ada lagi yang mau ditambahkan Edelin?
I think let Gordon to answer it.
Okay, Gordon.
Oke. Kalau misalkan saya ketemu satu orang hari ini, ini orang bagus ini. Tapi apa yang dikatakan oleh Subas tepat sekali. Kita ketemu dengan begitu banyak orang gitu ya. Begitu senang gitu ya ketemu dengan orang yang bagus nih. Tapi orang ini kemudian mengecewakan kita gitu. Tapi kita juga ketemu juga orang-orang yang kita nggak mau lah. Tapi dia memutuskan bergabung gitu loh. Jadi saya tidak mau menjadi bias gitu ya. Saya mau dia melalui prosesnya. Kenapa yang mau bergabung? Saya selalu biasanya orang tidak mau loh. Kamu kenapa gitu? Saya mau dengarkan jawaban dia. Jadi sesudah saya mendengarkan jawabannya baru saya bisa. Tapi kadang jawaban dia bukan jawaban yang saya inginkan gitu. Jadi kalau bukan yang saya inginkan, saya akan menjadi tanda tanya gitu ya. Tapi kalau jawabannya sesuai saya juga punya beberapa tes lah. Seperti namanya sistem namanya Master the Future ya, sebuah alat. Oke, Bapak kandidat, dari yang saya dengar, saya ingin melakukan satu latihan ini untuk Anda ketahui masa depan Anda dengan Anda bagaimana Anda menguasai masa depan Anda dengan mengerti masa sekarang Anda gitu loh. Dan bagaimana masa sekarang ini disebabkan oleh masa lalu dia gitu. Jadi supaya bagaimana dia bisa dan dengan latihan Master the Future ini kita bisa masuk kepada kehidupan dia gitu loh. Dan bisa nangkap sikap-sikap dia. Jadi sikap-sikap kita tidak bisa tangkap dari wawancara-wawancara. Jadi bisa jadi Anda temukan profil-profil tes ya, tapi tidak bisa tangkap yang namanya sikap gitu loh. Dan ini menjadi pengalaman saya. Dan sikap buat saya itu lebih penting daripada profil-profil, karena kalau dia tidak punya sikap tindak tanduknya ya yang penting gitu, karena banyak orang gagal karena tindak tanduknya gitu. Dan bagaimana Anda tahu? Dengan cara pergi ke masa lalunya, dengan bertanya pertanyaan-pertanyaan. Dan ketika saya dengarkan, ya, saya suka dan cocok dengan apa yang saya lihat dan dengarkan, ya udah, saya berbolehkan dia. Tapi kadang ketika kita katakan ya dalam resume ya ada yang tidak connect gitu ya karena tindak tanduknya itu tidak cocok dengan ya Gordon tadi bertanya kenapa you mau bergabung dengan industri ini gitu loh ya kita bisa tanya banyak pertanyaan ya apakah orang itu mempunyai alasan yang cukup untuk bisa sukses gitu loh ya kalau misalnya saya hari ini punya alasan yang cukup ya dan orang itu mempunyai alasan untuk sukses, itu yang kita mau. Berapa alasan untuk kamu sukses? Ya, ketika saya bergabung, saya punya alasan untuk sukses buat ibu saya. Ya, kadang satu alasan kuat cukup gitu. Ya, dan ketika orang itu bergabung, saya mau waktu yang bebas. Well, itu bukan langkah awal untuk bagus di karir ini gitu loh. Iya. Ya, jadi alasannya untuk mereka sukses ya. Ya, biasanya saya akan ya catch up dengan mereka ya dan mendengarkan cerita mereka dan cerita mereka sangat penting ya. Ya, untuk kenal mereka juga gitu. Ya, tadi Pak Gordon ngomong tentang Master Future dan saya setuju sekali ya. Dan itu menjadi satu program dalam test dan train saya gitu loh. Master the Future dan juga profile test mengenai ya kita harus mengambil orang yang tepat ya, orang yang tepat untuk masuk ke dalam tim kita. Yes, jadi ini adalah perekrutan yang berpotensi ya, untuk mencari tahu orang-orang yang tepat gitu ya. Ayo, karena kebanyakan mau gabung ya sudah gabunglah, dan proses-proses yang Anda miliki itu sangat penting untuk kandidat-kandidat yang baru untuk masuk dan bergabung dengan industri dan untuk merefleksikan juga gitu loh mengenai diri mereka sebelum mereka masuk. Oke, ada satu pertanyaan yang ditanya. Anda bicara tentang tim Anda, bagaimana Anda bertumbuh. Ya, jadi pertanyaannya apa sih? Apa angka perekrutan Anda? Berapa orang yang Anda ketemu sebelum Anda secara efektif punya satu perekrutan? Berapa janji yang Anda lakukan? Berapa banyak pembicaraan perekrutan? Bolehkah Anda bagikan jumlah Anda? Ya, angkanya ya. Ketika melakukan namanya itu bervariasi ya. Karena itu berhubungan dengan kemampuan. Kita juga ini melakukan 10-5 formula. Ya, proteksi 10 orang untuk 5 pertemuan dan 1 event recruitment per minggu. Ya, tapi itu sangat menantang ya. Dan saya juga tambahkan satu hal. Bagian dalam pengembangan, Anda perlu approach 10 orang sehari untuk, apakah Anda tertarik untuk paling tidak Anda ketemu dengan 1 orang untuk membicarakan tentang perekrutan. Ya, dan Anda bawa 1 orang dalam 1 minggu, kalau Anda bisa lakukan secara konsisten, Anda akan terbang. Ya, dan bagian yang lainnya adalah bagian pengembangan. Ya, saya bagikan apa yang Anda tabur adalah apa yang Anda tuai gitu loh. Jadi buat mereka, ya mereka butuh lebih sabar ya. Ya, jadi hal-hal lain juga yang kami lihat di dalam kepemimpinan. Bagaimana Anda lakukan 30 menit untuk pengembangan diri Anda gitu. Karena kalau Anda hasilmu tidak akan muncul kalau Anda tidak lakukan hari ini. Bagian-bagian yang perlu Anda kembangkan gitu. Buat Anda dalam coaching kelas saya, semoga Anda mendengarkan. Iya. 10 kontak 10 orang ketemu dengan 1 wawancara perekrutan ya. 10-5-1. Jadi apa yang terjadi adalah yang diajarkan oleh Pak Gordon adalah 1 hari 1 pembicaraan perekrutan ya. Tapi Subas itu 10 dalam 1 hari. Ya, 10 orang yang dikontak, 5 hari bicara. Ya, ya, ya. Saya tidak tahu ketika Anda mengatakan saya tidak tahu, saya tidak dapat rekrut. Ya, saya melakukan minimum saya ya. Ya. Tapi bagi banyak yang lain, ini bahkan tidak di sana gitu loh. Ya paling tidak satu lah. Ya, tidak bisa kan di bawahnya. Itu pun tidak dapat dilakukan gitu loh. Dan menjadi sulit bagi managers. Ya, saya juga belajar dari Gordon ya. Ya, perkutan itu lebih mudah daripada sales loh. Ya, closing itu butuh waktu lebih panjang, tapi approach mudah kan? Tanya, apakah kamu tertarik untuk bergabung dengan industri yang menarik namanya asuransi gitu loh. Ya, cuma tanya itu doang kan? Ya, mudah tapi tetap banyak orang yang tidak dapat lakukan gitu, tidak lakukan ya. Oke, terima kasih para bapak-bapak, ibu-ibu. Ya, oke, pertanyaan ini adalah buat Adeline ya. Seseorang, memberikan semangat. Terima kasih Adeline atas sharingnya. Saya percaya bahwa kamu juga ada operating cost ya untuk bisnis kamu. Ya, dan juga untuk bagaimana caranya kamu menanggulanginya ketika kamu belum melihat hasilnya gitu loh. Dengan investasi-investasi yang kamu lakukan dalam pengembanganmu. Ya. Bagaimana kamu tanggulangi hal-hal itu dalam pengembangan? Ya. Ya. Yang jelas adalah mereka perlu mengikuti program morfosis ya. Ya, karena morfosis belajar tentang percaya dulu, baru lihat. Dan lihat apakah kamu adalah orang yang percaya dulu baru melihat atau lihat dulu baru percaya. Tapi buat saya selalu percaya dulu baru melihat. Dan itulah saya. Ya, itulah ya bagian kepemimpinan yang dari Adeline yang muncul ya.
I don't know whether they expect my answer or not.
Ya. Oke. Ya, itu adalah jawaban saya. Ya, Subas mau bicara sesuatu? Yes, saya sudah menghadiri 3 kali morfosis scam ya, ketika di Eminence dulu. Ya, dan saya pikir perubahan dalam permainan itu kami masih kecil. Ya, beberapa dari mereka banyak mengikuti ulang dan ulang, dan itu membuka pikiran kita gitu loh. Dan ya, terima kasih kepada Gordon ya dalam perkembangan Eminence sampai dengan hari ini. Ya, banyak orang bicara tentang morfosis, tapi tidak banyak dari kita pernah mengikuti morfosis ya. Bolehkah kasih sedikit gambaran? Jadi morfosis adalah camp yang saya ciptakan untuk agensi asuransi. Di luar sana banyak sekali program-program pengembangan diri ya, program transformasi ya, tapi itu diberikan kepada bagian umum gitu loh. Ya, kalau Anda ikut itu ya. Dan para trainer itu bukanlah orang asuransi. Jadi buat saya ingin mencari sebuah program yang kalau saya pergi itu hanya orang asuransi aja, dan pembicaranya harus melalui harus dari industri kita, karena industri kita sangat unik gitu loh. Kalau Anda tidak pernah melalui karir kita, Anda tidak tahu perjalanan yang dilalui. Jadi bagaimanapun kalau Anda belum pernah menjadi agent atau manager, Anda tidak tahu apa yang kita bicarakan gitu, apa yang kita rasakan. Jadi saya mengikuti program-program dan saya cari, dan karena saya mau pakai untuk agent saya, pada saya tidak dapat menemukannya. Jadi hidup kayak gitulah ya. Di bagian leadership, kalau Anda mau ingin sesuatu, Anda ingin Anda tidak dapat, ya udah Anda ciptakan gitu loh. Dan itulah morfosis scam. Jadi pada saya itu saya buat untuk perkutan, dan kita bicara kepada mereka 3-4 hari. Dan kalau Anda bicara dalam karir seminar itu 90 hari. Bagaimana kalau Anda bisa bawa mereka 3-4 hari, memberikan waktu, bukan untuk bergabung dengan asuransi, tapi berbicara tentang hidup mereka gitu. Menjadi anak lebih baik, bapak lebih baik, suami lebih baik, istri lebih baik, anak lebih baik. Ya, ini semua adalah mengenai mereka gitu loh. Dan mereka menemukan diri mereka. Dan kemudian mereka bertanya kepada diri mereka, apakah ini adalah karier yang boleh mereka jadikan pertimbangan untuk masuk ke dalamnya. Dan ketika kita bicara tentang agency, manager bawa agent ya. Dan bagaimana si Edelin punya tim dan bawa tim-timnya kepada manajer, karena ada segmen untuk memberikan masukan ya. Dan buat agensi itu sangatlah penting. Karena ketika kita berbicara satu sama lain selama setahun, banyak sekali isu-isu gitu ya. Dan di camp itu dapat menyelesaikan hal-hal. Ya. Dan kita tidak mau budaya seperti itu. Saya tidak suka kamu. Saya kepahitan. Saya tidak dapat maafkan kamu. Dan selalu ada friksi gitu ya. Tapi selalu bisa diselesaikan gitu. Dan sesudah balik dari camp, bisa mulai lagi dari awal. Itu ya. Yes, itu adalah perkenalan sedikit tentang namanya morfosis. Oke, ada pertanyaan buat retention buat Anda semuanya. Bolehkah Anda bagikan bagaimana mempertahankan setelah ini dalam organisasi Anda, ya? Bolehkah Edelin bagikan retentionnya? Kami mempunyai programnya. Ya, tadi saya bagikan sistem 3 itu. Ya, jadi programnya namanya Start in Rise. Itu adalah program 90 hari buat agen baru untuk memulai dengan percaya diri untuk mendapatkan produksi. Dan setelah itu biasanya melalui semua sistem bagaimana bukan hanya mengenai pelatihannya, tapi lebih kepada fokus kepada bagaimana pertumbuhan diri mereka gitu loh. Karena saya percaya bahwa ketika si agent dapat memanage diri mereka, itu dia bisa lakukan hal-hal lain. Tapi kalau dia tidak dapat menangani diri mereka, ya, stres mulai muncul dan kebanyakan mereka menyerah. Ya, jadi bukan apa yang Anda latih, tapi apa yang mereka dapat pelajari dalam pertumbuhan diri mereka gitu loh. Ya, jadi buat untuk retention agent baru itu untuk memfokus itu adalah sebuah program yang wajib ya, dan itu yang membuat retention saya jadi tinggi gitu loh. Dan itu kunci strategi saya adalah ya mereka hadir di Morphosis. Bagaimana dengan Subas? Bagaimana rate retentionnya di Eminence sekarang ini? Saya nggak punya statistiknya, tapi retentionnya itu lebih tinggi daripada industri karena kita mempunyai data berapa dari mereka yang bertahan. Kita mempunyai program namanya fail fast gitu loh. Jadi kita memberikan kesempatan kepada mereka 6 bulan kita punya kriteria produksi minimum. Ya, jadi kalau mereka dengan capek mereka keluar dari sistem gitu. Mereka bukan bagian dari Eminence lagi gitu loh. Jadi itu yang bagian dari agensi yang menjadi masalah adalah mereka tidak tahu kapan berhenti membantu orang-orang itu gitu loh. Jadi kita memberikan kesempatan kepada setiap orang, kalau dalam 6 bulan dia tidak menghasilkan target minimum, ya kita akan minta mereka pergi gitu loh. Ya, jadi kita akan berhentikan mereka yang tidak mencapai minimum target itu. Ya, jadi agensi itu berjuang mereka yang lemah gitu ya. Dan kita membantu mereka yang untuk tinggal lebih awal gitu. Jadi buat mereka yang tertinggal ya mereka yang berpotensi, yang kita bekerja keras untuk mereka, membentuk mereka. Jadi tadi saya katakan bahwa ya 10 pertanyaan ya induksi dan test dan train itu adalah program retention ya. Dan ketika agent baru datang ke agensi, mereka melalui dan retention dalam agent saya paling tinggi gitu loh. Yes, ada yang mau tambahkan sebelum kita masuk pertanyaan terakhir? Oke, pertanyaan terakhir. Oke, kalau agent Anda mau merekrut orang-orang, tapi kandidat ini tidak terlalu cocok gitu ya, apa yang Anda lakukan? Ya, apa alasannya gitu? Tidak cocok, alasannya apa gitu? Ya, mungkin karakter, mungkin tindak tanduk. Ya kalau memang tidak cocok, ya jangan direkrut lah. Ya, Karena ketika Anda berikut seseorang, Anda bantu dia untuk sukses gitu loh. Jadi saya percaya, saya peduli sesuatu yang positif. Tapi kalau misalkan perasaan Anda, emosi Anda adalah negatif, ya Anda tidak dapat membantu dia dan tidak masuk akal, masuk akal untuk merekrut dia gitu. Ya, jadi yang diajarkan oleh Pak Gordon, kalau Anda melihat dia tidak cocok, ya Anda tanya 4 pertanyaan gitu loh. Apakah Anda suka dengan dia? Apakah Anda percaya sama dia? Apakah Anda dapat tangani dia gitu loh? Apakah dia cocok dengan budaya Anda gitu loh? Ya. Ya, ini 4 pertanyaan yang Anda perlu tanyakan kepada diri Anda sebelum Anda merekrut satu kandidat. Kalau memang tidak cocok, kalau misalkan dari 4 pertanyaan, ya, ada yang saya tidak dapat manage dia atau ya udah berarti dia tidak cocok lah. Ya, itu akan menjadi sangat sulit ya untuk mengembangkan dia gitu loh. Kalau memang dia bukan kandidat yang tepat. Contoh ya, belum lama ini ada satu kandidat yang kita mau rekrut, ya bagus segala macam, pede gitu ya. Tapi ketika kita cek Facebook posting, Insta, banyak hal-hal yang tidak cocok dengan nilai-nilai dari eminence. Jadi kita beritahu orang itu kalau Anda harus keluar dari posting-posting itu gitu loh. Tapi orang itu punya dia masih tetap mau posting itu, ya sudah, kita tidak lanjutkan. Yes. Yes, itu adalah budaya ya yang Anda perlu perhatikan ya sebelum Anda bawa orang ya. Oke, yang terakhir, manajer mau merekrut. Ya, mereka mau merekrut seseorang, mereka bawa, dan saya bilang saya tidak akan rekrut orang ini. Saya akan tanya mereka gitu loh. Kenapa you mau rekrut dia gitu loh. Dia harus berikan alasannya. Jadi kalau misalkan alasan yang diberikan itu lemah gitu ya, nggak kuat gitu, saya bilang semua yang you katakan tidak cocok ya untuk kamu menyeleksi. Kalau misalkan alasannya kuat gitu ya, tapi saya lihat kandidatnya tidak cocok dengan apa yang kamu katakan. Ya, jadi di salah satu contoh ya, ada satu manajer mau merekrut satu orang, ya naik di atas panggung bicara tentang dirinya, dia memperbesar-besarkan tentang dirinya, dia sangat bersyukur dia akan bergabung dengan orang itu, dan manajer ini, wah ini kualitas MDAT, dan saya bilang jangan rekrut dia, dan manajernya kaget gitu. Kenapa? Karena orang ini terlalu lihat dirinya terlalu tinggi, somse, ya bahkan dia belum melihat pengalaman-pengalaman dalam hidup gitu loh. You bisa tangani dia nggak kalau dia bergabung? Dan dia bilang kalau dia langsung bilang gitu bahwa manajer saya sangat beruntung tuh merekrut saya. Apakah benar you mau dia gitu? Ya, dia akan gagal dalam karir ini gitu loh. Dan dia pastinya akan gagal gitu. Dan Anda adalah coach saya tidak mengerti, ya udah saya percayalah. Dan satu hal mengenai kepemimpinan, ya, dan bukan manajer bicara gitu. Saya mau sekarang gitu. Saya butuh angka-angkanya. Itu mengenai sekarang, ya. Tapi leader tidak akan bicara tentang hari ini, akan bicara tentang masa depan. Ya, bagaimana keberlangsungan itu? Ya, bagian leader Anda akan harus lebih maju. Ya, jadi Anda harus sekarang hari ini Anda masih berfungsi sebagai seorang manajer, tapi Anda perlu mengembangkan bagian kepemimpinan Anda untuk ekspansi untuk masa depan Anda. Oke, terima kasih semuanya. Satu pertanyaan terakhir buat Golden. Ada yang tanya, Golden, kenapa Anda tidak melakukan FORUM 2 kali setahun? 2 kali setahun. Saya begitu siapapun Anda yang bertanya pertanyaan ini, terima kasih ya Anda bertanya pertanyaan ini. Artinya bahwa Anda temukan bahwa FORUM itu berguna buat kamu. Ya, itulah sebabnya kita membuat FORUM ini. Tapi secara jujur ya, meskipun FORUM ini adalah kualitas buat dalam 3 tahun terakhir. Tapi kalau kita lihat, kita kirimkan untuk mengundang orang. Banyak orang, manajer melihat bukan di bagian leadership ya, mereka masih tidak melakukan respons. Ya, kalau kita lihat kita ada 300 orang yang bayar. Ya, tapi kalau kita lihat hanya setengah yang muncul. Jadi ini faktanya. Saya bersyukur buat Anda yang berterima kasih kepada Anda yang hadir. Ya, saya hanya ingin semoga kalau tahun depan kita punya, ya silakan Anda berikan informasikan kepada sebanyak orang. Mari kita bangun komunitas ini. Ini adalah forum khusus untuk manajer. Pembicara itu tidak ngomong tentang motivasi penjualan, hanya mengenai namanya kepemimpinan.
Saya cuma butuh buat 2 orang.
Semoga Anda bisa menjadi pembagi kepada mereka-mereka di luar
Per
sana.
bulan aja nggak mau setahun.
Terima kasih semuanya. Dan saya percaya bahwa banyak dari Anda
Sebulan.
bermanfaat dari
Mahal banget.
Yes, kita akan terima kasih untuk sekarang ini.
Tapi kemarin bilang 500.000 satu orang.
Thank you. See you guys. Bye.
All the best.
So cute, all of you. All right.